for the fly.
Morning, beautiful people. It's Tuesday, the 11th of October. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture, as decided by the culture. I don't make the rules. I just break them. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're hosted by your best. Everybody, please introduce themselves.
It's your boy Big Man Use, aka Mr. Rotations, aka the Voice of Reason, aka the Oracle, aka the First in Attendance. Yeah, now that Esther is taking a little leave here, still I'm rising up the register. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Hang on to that.
And they call me, man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
And of course, I am your host with the most, Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, everybody. Quickly, before we get into any pleasantries, I need you to hit the subscribe button, like button, turn on the bell, do all that good stuff, because you know it helps with the algorithms. There's also a community, apparently. Join it, because pure things going on in there. pure things going on there. So join the community, keep in contact with all TDA news, be first to get it, talk to the host, all this good stuff. Anyway, how's everybody doing today?
Yeah, man, I'm cool, man.
All good?
Yeah, quiet Monday night at home, just, regular.
Yeah, man.
Chilling.
We say you're fresh, well rested, ready for the world.
Yeah, man. I've had a nice little sleep still, so.
Makes a change.
Yeah. What do you mean makes a change?
You know you don't sleep, man.
Yesterday I was cool, no? So I'm saying, listen, I'm here, man. Don't worry about it.
What about you, man? Get up to anything fun last night?
Nah, not really, man. I was just watching, what was I watching? Lord of the Rings. You know the series? Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. The House of Dragons.
Yeah.
What's it called?
As well.
What's the Lord of the Rings one called?
Rings of Power, I believe.
That's not too bad. Have you finished it?
I'm up to date. It's all right.
Oh, is it coming out once a week now?
Yeah. It's once a week.
Okay, I think I'm on like 6.
Yeah, I think there's one more. Yeah, there's one more that came out yesterday. It came out yesterday or Sunday. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Astro Dragon. I didn't watch Astro Dragon last night either. I need to catch up on that. So obviously no spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers. But can I just say one thing though?
Go
The time jumps annoy me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 10 years and then 6 years.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because of the way the original one took so long to develop, but man's kind of aware of the story. I'm cool with the time jumps.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm kind of aware of the story and I know what's going on. I don't need all the little filler bits. They just need to give me you know what I'm trying to say? Because I already that makes sense. Before the show even happened, I know what's happening. I know the story. So I just want to get into the juicy parts. So I'm not mad at the time jumps. I don't know how big this last one is. I'm guessing they probably done one last night or something.
Yeah. The thing is, the time jumps or whatever, but I feel like they're not getting into the meat of it though. I feel like they're jumping time, but to what avail? I don't think they ain't got to the core of it yet. Like nothing for me monumental has happened yet.
Yeah.
It's been like 8 episodes.
But what did you watch yesterday's one?
Yeah.
That was right though. That was a good one.
It was a good one, but I'm still waiting. You know what? They're not even spoiled it for months.
Remember, they can't, even though they're doing time jumps, they can't just give it to you all in season 1. It's probably got planned for 5 seasons, and the most important thing is the war in that, innit? So they'll probably go into that in more detail, maybe.
Yeah, I hear that. Brent, are you up to date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? You don't like it?
Yeah, I like it. But I didn't mind the slow development of the first edition of this particular franchise.
You know what it is? I'm assuming that this is here for the long haul. Like, you know how Game of Thrones had 8 seasons?
Okay.
I'm assuming this is like a one-off. One or two off. That's why I'm like, okay, cool, it's taking a bit too long to get to. If this is another 8 seasons, fair enough. You know what I mean? But I just can't. I'm assuming it's not. I don't know why.
I think it'll be at least Well, if all goes well, it'll be at least like 4 or something,
4 or
innit?
5.
Okay,
That's
fair
what I'm
enough.
thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 4 or 5, and then they can just get into into the meat of it, like you say, properly. Like but I don't know. I think it was all right. I think it's good. I'm gonna when will I watch last night's one? Don't know what things doing, but yeah. Okay, then on our House of Dragon catch up. What is that? A new segment? Yeah, is this what we're doing?
Why not? Why not?
We
How was your
do
evening
like-
though?
Yeah.
That's my show, man. I can't even lie. Then Targaryens are moving mad though. This man just them man don't care. Niece, auntie, sister, anybody.
That's the one thing about that show. The incest is ripe.
For real.
It's,
Yeah, it's interesting over there, boy.
All right.
Like,
So would you have participated in that, keeping the bloodline pure back in the day, Marks?
well, if I was a Targaryen,
I know you'd participate in the violence, right? Because, sorry, who's your favorite character so far? Just based off the violence.
My favorite character so far would probably be Daemon.
yeah, that's to be Damon.
The guy who's into incest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Daemon
So
Targaryen.
you would have participated in that back in the day if it was the rule of law, right?
If I was a Targaryen, yeah, of course.
I like how you said that.
Right.
No, but the thing is, if you're living in that time and you're in that family, to you that's normal.
It's normal, man.
That's what you have to do. So you know what I mean?
But you
Yeah,
do the same
obviously.
as well, bro.
Brett, I don't know why you're laughing at. You would have do the same.
Only too willing to jump in to the hypothetical, brother. I would not.
Yes, you would.
Yes, you would.
You would. No.
Whatever you
You're
think,
no.
whatever you
You're
think,
talking
that's fine.
as Brent
100%.
now.
Exactly.
If you lived in that
I am not gonna
age
get clipped up.
and you were in that family, you'd be sleeping with your cousin, Brent. I know you would.
Sister.
Your sister. Damon's eavesdropping his niece.
Exactly.
Keeping the bloodline
It's
pure.
crazy. No, but okay, obviously they didn't know back then that, and maybe they didn't have examples of it, but when you're sleeping with someone within your family, the DNA, you know what I mean? And then the baby might come out a certain way because of it. But they're not giving us examples of that, so maybe that never happened back then. I'm not sure why, but also I keep thinking about this. The black family,
Yeah.
right? It's not being acknowledged that they're black because back then it was a different times, right?
It wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It was more so just class and
Yeah. Exactly.
social status, power. It wasn't about. I mean,
No.
yeah.
But they look wavy with the hair and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they have been kind of presented as like mamby pamby. Their house is strong, man, and rich.
What's mamby pamby to you?
Soft.
Okay.
Yeah. Quick to die and stuff.
And they got locks as well, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah. The only weird thing about the show is
That the fact that is that they're mixing the blacks with the whites.
not that they're mixing it.
Oh, you're not going that way.
No, that's what you're. The children, like Damon's children, with I can't remember her name anyway. The one who died.
Yes.
Okay.
His wife who died, right?
Yeah.
They don't look like they're the offsprings of Damon and her. They look like they just came from her.
Good. The jeans, innit?
I guess. Or is this bad casting?
Nah, the jeans are fine.
It's the jeans, yeah.
I like the fact that well, there's trickery in the plot. Obviously, one of the people we thought they died, but they didn't. They escaped.
Yeah.
Lived their
Yeah.
particular lifestyle
Yes.
in another land. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to obviously avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
No, but that happened a couple. That happened.
Yeah, I know,
a while
but
ago.
people that we're talking to, maybe they don't.
Oh, okay,
Listen,
true.
listen to that.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to avoid House of Dragon spoilers in the future, make sure you're up to date whenever you listen to TDA because you never know when we might spiral into a conversation about it. You know what I mean?
So Damon, what do you like
Yeah.
about Damon? You're not
What you say?
you're not up to date, are you? Because Damon moved wild last episode.
Yeah, he's got one more.
But the thing is, I feel
Yeah,
like,
but what can he do that's gonna thing like Damon's a killie, man. He's unruly. He can fight.
No, he was on brand.
no, but he started off the show
On smoke.
unruly, and I thought his trajectory was gonna be just into straight crud, but he calmed down.
But he did a lot, to be honest. He mugged his wife.
Yeah.
He what? Sorry?
He committed treason, right? Or he tried to.
Yeah.
Then he mugged his wife.
He didn't murk his wife.
Of course he did.
She killed
He
herself.
did when he pushed up the
No,
horse.
remember he had a wife before that.
Oh, you mean the first wife? Sorry, I forgot about her. Yeah.
And then he did a madness at the dancery, when it is that he was there trying to finger his brother's wife. daughter.
No, that didn't happen at the dance. That happened at the little whorehouse.
And he did it twice. So he kissed her
Yeah.
at the thing,
Yeah.
and then he looked to basically finger at the wedding.
You sure?
No.
Obviously he didn't, but that's what it was in his head.
No. Okay, you know what it was in his
Obviously what
head.
was
No,
in his head.
he grabbed her by the back of her neck and it was almost like they were going to
It was
kiss.
very
He
intense.
didn't try to finger
Very
her.
intense, very intense, very intense.
No, I thought he was going to try and kill his brother. I thought that was his plan, to kill his brother, take over the throne, be king in it. But obviously, he kind of.
Yeah.
I think his plan is still to be king, but he's going around it in a different way. And I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, the
straight,
love ran too
straight
deep.
crud. What's that?
Man,
Love ran too deep.
to be king. That's jokes. The story's out there in the world already. You get me? So I kind of knew exactly like where the plot's going. I know exactly what's going to happen already, kind of thing. That's why I don't mind the time jumps. To be totally honest with you.
You know the books.
Oh, the books. Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm unaware of the books.
He's talking about spoilers.
No, he said the
No,
story.
I'm not talking about spoilers.
No,
I
he
just
ain't
mean
talking
like
about
that.
spoilers. It means the story of
general
is already out
story of
there.
the House of Dragons and the war between the Greens and the Reds and like that. I know the story already.
Oh, okay. I'm unaware of the stories.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't even know. I don't know how this is going to end.
Okay,
I
cool.
do.
So I know. And obviously, there's little details that they're putting in the show that you would get from watching the show, but the general thing of the story, I kind of know it already.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Next time we talk about it, obviously, you guys have to be up to date, as Yusuf just said. That's why I took the prompt to continue.
Are people
Pardon?
Yeah, they completed.
Oh, they're complaining.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
they're complaining. Oh,
Complaining.
I didn't enter the comments.
Sorry.
Well, listen, there should be a rule, right? When a show drops, I think you've got 2 days max to watch it, and then it's just free reign on spoilers.
Yeah. They should come here knowing full well that we want to talk about it because everybody's talking about it.
So okay,
I
cool.
should get up to date from. I say from next week. There's no hold bars, man.
The show drops what on a
From next week,
Monday, right?
I think you can get it Sunday,
Sunday
2
night,
2 a.m.
Sunday night.
You can get it Sunday 2 a.m. if you're dedicated.
Yeah. All right, cool. So by Wednesday, you know what I mean? By Wednesday, you should have watched it, right?
I want to shoot from the hip. on
How was
Monday.
it? Monday. No, because
All right.
even for myself, I don't think I might watch it on the Monday.
Yeah,
Right.
not at all.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man.
I'm here for it though. But you're not being warned, man. As of next week, it's
Yeah,
we're
next week we'll do a little. Do you know how many episodes in this season?
Nah, no idea. No, I'm expecting like 10.
Yeah, probably like about that, innit? Probably.
Okay.
Be lucky if man got 12. That'd be amazing. But it's probably about 10 or something.
Yeah.
That Lord of the Rings one is a bit
Yeah, it's not as
Damn.
thingy. Yeah.
slip.
You know what? I gave it like a first little brief watch, yeah, and I thought, oh yeah, this is a bit higgy. And then for whatever reason, I've gone back to it and kind of took the episodes in properly. It's not bad. Like it's not like great, but it's not bad though. It's just it's all right. It's not decent to watch. Half decent.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
What else is out there that's like a good like series, a solid one?
I'm watching Raising Canaan.
Okay.
I'm watching Raising Canaan right now. I think that's.
I ain't seen none of that.
I think that's solid. It's more realistic than Ghost, and more realistic than Ghost, the one with Tariq. It's more of a real life situation as opposed to Tariq's a bit more theatrics and whatever. What else am I watching?
You should be watching Good Fight.
What's that?
Have you heard of The Good Wife?
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a spin-off from that.
Ain't that like numerous seasons already of The Good Fight?
The Good Fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few seasons. But
Okay,
I'm
cool.
guessing you haven't heard of it, right?
No, I've heard of it. Now that you linked it
Yeah, it's
to Good
fantastic.
Wife.
But
yeah.
it's
What's the good wife? Is she like a lawyer or something?
Yeah, something like
not
that.
she.
No,
That's
she's,
The Good Wife. But The Good Fight is a few of the characters from The Good Wife on a spin-off. And it's kind of
Where they
based in
find-
a black law firm.
Okay.
So the woman ain't in it herself?
No,
Oh, is it?
not the
Okay.
white woman, no. But
Okay.
a lot of the characters that were in it, yeah.
Okay.
It's dope. That's proper TV though. That's proper like watching. Yeah,
Okay.
proper drama.
Apart from that, I watch anything that Marvel releases on Disney Plus. So I've been watching She-Hulk. Been watching a new one, Werewolf by Night. Oh, I watched. There's a documentary on Netflix about the Redeem team. That's the USA basketball team from, I think it was 2008. Yeah. So the Dream Team.
Yeah.
That was in
Was it us speaking about that yesterday? Who was talking about-
92.
Yeah.
That was Jordan, Magic, Bird, whatever. Obviously, that was kind of like the pinnacle
Yeah.
of their success. And after that, they kind of like
It kind of went down.
fell off in it. And then that team was meant to kind of come back and win gold at the Olympics. So it's basically the story about how that happened, how they recruited Kobe. And once they recruited Kobe in,
Yeah.
everything changed, innit? I felt like the documentary was about the Redeem team, but it was more of a homage to
Kobe, yeah.
to Kobe. So it was nice to watch still.
I need to take that in still.
Yeah, decent still.
I'm impressed with BMF, you know.
Oh, I told you,
Yeah,
BMF is hard, man.
Yeah.
BMF is good. BMF is good.
Yeah, BMF is
man.
hard. BMF is hard.
He said, "You can't stand the rain."
Yeah, BMF is hard still. Season 2, I
Oh,
think
God.
they've started recording. Sorry, they started filming season 2. Yeah, no, BMF is hard. BMF is definitely. I prefer BMF and Raising Canaan to the other ones. The other
Okay.
Power Universe.
What's the other one called? Force or something?
Force. I didn't join Force. I didn't even finish Force.
What's that?
I ain't seen
That's
that. I ain't seen that.
Brent, what's the character's name again? That's
Goodbye,
Tommy's show.
Tommy.
Oh,
That's Tommy's show. Yeah. I think I got to like episode 5. And I
I'm
was
not,
like,
gonna, I'm
nah.
not gonna do that one.
Yeah. But yeah, BMF, Raising Canaan, the top 2, man.
Okay.
Top 2. All right, shall we
Mm.
proceed?
Yeah, let's get into these headlines, man. Before we go.
The first headline is about Nicola Sturgeon again. And the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, has told her party members they are the independence generation in her keynote speech at the SNP Conference. The SNP leader told delegates that independence was essential. She also told the conference in Aberdeen that she would unveil a new economic prospectus next week, stating that it would include a proposal to use oil revenues to set up a £20 billion investment fund if Scotland became independent. She also announced an increase to child benefit. In her rallying cry to her party members, Ms. Sturgeon told the conference, "We are the independence generation. I believe firmly that we will be the first in the modern world to live in an independent Scotland." While the SNP leader warned independence was not a miracle economic cure, she insisted it was essential to escape Westminster control and mismanagement. She urged the independence generation to keep in mind 2 points. First is the fundamental right of the nation of Scotland to self-determination. And the second is what history teaches us, the overwhelming power of democracy to triumph.
This woman don't stop. She's on the William Wallace thing. She's ready to fight.
For real.
You know, like horses and things should be at the gates.
Yeah.
She's ready to go.
For real, man. But I mean, good on her, man. She wants independence for her people.
Yeah, but she just seems like aggressive about it. Like, I reckon she's going to go to war. I reckon she might call it on and say, yeah, you know what? War thing.
Yeah.
We're done.
I wouldn't put it past her, man. And the second headline is, trigger warning, and it's almost like a throwback because it's about Harvey Weinstein. So Harvey Weinstein will be going on trial on Monday in a Los Angeles court where he's facing 11 further charges of abuse. The 70-year-old movie producer is currently serving 23 years in jail in New York after being convicted there for sexual assault, including rape. The latest charges include allegations of assault and rape against women in Beverly Hills and Los Angeles hotels from 2004 to 2013, which he has denied. Jury selection for the expected 2-month trial is set to begin on Monday. The Oscar-winning producer claims his sexual encounters were all consensual, and his lawyer told the press the latest round of West Coast allegations stem from many years ago and cannot be substantiated or corroborated by any forensic evidence or credible witnesses. If convicted, the former filmmaker could face 140 additional years behind bars. His conviction in New York in 2020 was a landmark moment for the Me Too movement, which had been calling out widespread sexual abuse and harassment in the film industry for several years. Stars including Angelina Jolie, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Salma Hayek all accused Weinstein of assault or harassment. The New York Film Festival will this week premiere She Said, which is a movie about the 2017 newspaper investigation into Harvey Weinstein. In June, it was revealed he was also to be charged with 2 accounts of indecent assault against a woman in London in the summer of 1996.
I swear that's his life. Spent 140 years, you know. Just say life in prison.
Yeah. Funny you say that though.
Yeah.
In one of the headlines near the end of the show,
Yeah.
I think it kind of explains why you wouldn't just say life because.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it will make sense. So,
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, 140 years if he's guilty.
That's insane.
I don't see the point of him even fighting it. 'Cause, like he's 70 now. He's got 23 years in prison already.
Yeah.
He ain't coming out.
No, he's not coming out.
Just
not
Yeah,
accept
there's
it.
no point turning up to court, man. Just tell them to do what you're doing, man.
That's it.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, sad. But anyway. Yeah, that's the end of the headlines. Yeah.
That's the end of the headlines. Let's get into what you're saying on topic of the day.
Today's topic of the day. Now it's kind of like a general question, but we can answer in any type of way, right?
Okay.
Cool. Have you ever changed your mind and stopped believing something that you once strongly believed in, and why? So it could be religious doctrine. It could be about anything.
What, Santa or the Tooth Fairy or anything like that?
Anything.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I used to believe in that I no longer believe in?
Have you had like an experience that's made you question everything before that experience?
It's a deep one, man. It's a deep one. Nothing comes to mind right now, but through the conversation, who knows? I might, you know what I mean, I might be jogged, but
Okay.
nothing. Brent, what about you? Anything come to mind?
Right off the bat, maybe the Bible being everything that I had read it to be.
Okay. Can you
As I
elaborate?
grew older, as I started reasoning with certain truths, I had to look at the Bible differently, and not as I was told to look at it by my parents.
I went straight to religion.
So what kind of change? Like, what particular story or ethos or whatever, like, made you say, you know what, I need to see this differently because this doesn't really, you know what I mean, work with me.
I guess the fact that certain languages back then wouldn't have allowed for the translations that exist now. So in knowing that to be true, I had to look at the Bible again differently. Finding out how many times it got changed by certain powers, I had to look at it differently. Having known that certain chapters were removed from it by certain powers, I had to look at it differently. And then obviously the teaching on the pulpit, having seen certain men tell the congregation to do certain things just because he was revered, respected, we just listened. I had to look at the church differently. I'm still a born-again Christian, by the way. I feel as though these pieces of enlightenment has made me a better son of God. So I think it's been dope for me, to be honest, and it's made me look at life completely differently, and it made me argue points completely differently. It made me look at different religions completely differently. So I'm in a stronger position. I'm in a much more peaceful / logical / rational position, I feel.
Okay. So in terms of, like, if you don't mind, like how you viewed other like religions and stuff, how did it kind of change?
Well, there were times when I was in full-on arguments back and forth with certain. That's another thing that changed, I guess. I stopped arguing too tough with other faiths. Again, I used to just use the Bible in the back and forth, and if my understanding of the Bible has changed, then I kind of move to a different position in conversing. I don't let other people's faith, I guess, trouble my sleep too tough. I've changed from the position of just judging people off the back of everything that, again, the Bible says well, the people from the people who were teaching the Bible said I should judge. I'm not even suggesting that that's the message that I was getting 24/7 from the pulpit, but it was in between the lines. I stopped doing all of that. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I guess I was trying to see if, because how a lot of the time, like Christians would say, you know what, people from other faiths are going to hell, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that. I was thinking, like, do you kind of see it in that way? Like, did you used to think that, and then maybe now it's like,
I don't look to basically speak on that. Like,
Okay.
I could have led with that before, and I did, like, because that's the teachings. But I stay away from that completely, because my position has changed with my belief. I focus on just myself.
Okay.
So I don't even get into those back and forth. So same with the whole LGBTQ. I mean, so many things I've parked everything. Like that is your business, this is my business.
Yeah.
And that's just me.
I think it's looked upon as being distasteful because at the core of it, you probably still believe that, because if you wholeheartedly believe in your religion, right, then it's only natural to assume you would believe anyone not practicing your religion is going to hell. But it is distasteful to tell someone you're going to hell. So
That's clearly wrong, though. I don't think you need to dive deep in. Like, I don't care what religion you follow. I think
Yeah.
if you believe that, then there's something wrong with you. Though.
I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying I
I'm
believe.
saying anybody.
Yeah, I believe that
I'm
people.
not disrespecting anybody's faith, but I just think if you've lived enough life and gone through it, and if you actually truly believe that with your heart, there's trouble in there. That can't make no sense.
I hear that. If you put a gun to someone's head and ask them, if you ask a Christian, for example, do you believe that someone from X faith is going to hell, and you said no, and then that person asks you to explain it, how would you explain it? If you're completely engrossed in what you believe in, your explanation would have to point to the fact that you think they are going to hell because they don't practice your religion. I'm not saying that's how I think, but that's how I see certain people's minds. You know what I'm trying to say, but it's an interesting one. Yeah. Mark's gone again.
No, I ain't, man. Don't make a scene.
I'm trying to think what else. I had to think my parents were right about everything. Growing up, innit, you assume that your parents know best, and your parents, are all wise and all conquering. And as you get older, you realize, no, your parents are human beings too, and not everything they told you or not everything they say to you is right. So that's definitely something that I think that's something that we all learn growing up. Yeah, you know what I mean,
True.
Anything from you, Marga?
I don't know.
This is the first time I've actually been stumped on this show. Sorry.
What kind of? I don't know. Maybe like gang culture and shit like that.
Okay.
Like when I was younger, I was a firm believer I was never going to leave the street. That's actually like what I believed, like in my chest. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I didn't think there was anything else out there for man. I didn't have no interest in nothing else. I thought I'd be on the streets forever. That cliche shit, dead or in jail and all that crap.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that anymore.
Why don't you think that anymore?
Because there's more to life than just the streets. You know what I'm trying to say? If you go old and you live through things and you travel and you see the world, and you understand that there's just more to life than what you know. It's like you're just stuck in a fishbowl mentality or whatever. Like you don't. When you know better, you do better, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
So you're roughly around 30 plus, right? When did you find that out? When did you come to that particular decision that your mindset needs to change and there is more out there?
I don't know. Maybe like my late 20s, maybe. But I'm not sure. I remember having a conversation with my friend the other day from when we was younger. I always said, like, if I live to see 25, like on my 25th birthday, like, I'll just stop everything. Like, I'll leave the streets, I'll stop everything. I'll just go away. Like, because obviously for me that would be like a massive milestone. Because I didn't even think I'd live that long. You get me? But then I got to that age, and my brethren reminded me what I said, and he was like, "I thought you were gonna stop everything. Like, I thought you were gonna be done." I'm like, "Brother, don't make a scene, man. Mind your business," kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So I've kind of like been thinking about different things for a little while. I think it would be like my late 20s. It would be like my late 20s when I actively tried to like where my mindset's really changed when I started to thinking about my future differently, like outside the streets and actually like having a future, if that makes sense. Get me? Before I was just going through the motions, doing things day to day and that, and just it is what it is. And then I started planning for a future. So when I'm planning for a future, it's different to what the trajectory that I was on in it. You know what I'm saying?
So you weren't the type of gang member that thought you were invincible?
It's not a case of being invincible. It's just like you just don't care, innit? It's just like shit happens, innit? Like it's just part of the game, innit? You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. It's not a case of being invincible, but you don't really worry about them things. When you're young as well, you're not worried about jail and all that because you've got enough life in you to go and do a half decent sentence and come home or whatever. And yeah, like when you're just, it's not, I don't think it's about being invincible, but when you're playing that game, you're involved in it. Like it is what it is, isn't it? Like whatever's going to come with it's going to come with it kind of thing.
Have you changed your mind about how you see drugs, Emmanuel? Certain drugs?
Somewhat, you know. But then again, I never had like a firm stance on drugs anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really care as much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel that with the psychedelics, I've started basically having different thoughts about that and what it could actually unlock within the human consciousness.
Guys been talking about psychedelics for time.
Yeah.
Just do it already, man.
I actually will. I will. And I will detail my experience on TDA.
I think you should record
No,
yourself.
this guy been talking about doing
I should
psychedelics
record
for years.
myself and play it.
Don't necessarily play it. I would just say that, like, put a camera on and just do your thing in it.
So you can watch it?
That'd be too funny, man.
Because in your head, you think I'm going to be spaced out.
Yeah, you 100%. Of course you will be.
Listen,
Well, it depends on how much you're taking.
mushrooms, truffles, whatever, they're serious things, man. Serious things.
But so when you had your first trip, Yusuf,
Yeah.
mushrooms and whatnot, I think you detailed that you saw like a comic type of world.
Yeah, everything was like a cartoon to me. Yeah. But I was very aware that I was tripping. It wasn't like I was like confused, like where am I? No, I knew exactly where I was, but I just knew that everything looked crazy. If I focus on a particular object, if I focus on this plant, the plant will just start doing things. Yeah, it will just start moving. This might jump out the pot. It might start. These might be people, and they're dancing, whatever. It was just no, literally. And then I'll look at it for a bit, and I'll just be enjoying the show, essentially, right? Then I'll stop and I'll look at something else. And then whatever I look at now, that takes a life of itself, and that's doing a madness. And then me and my cousin were playing American football with no football. Like, go long! Like, it was... No, it was fun, though. It was fun. It was fun. Remember, they're meant to accentuate how you feel, naturally. So if you're in a dark space, it'll take you even darker.
Okay.
If you're happy and you're bubbly and you want to have fun, or you're in that kind of mind frame, it just exaggerates that for you, innit? Yeah, so it depends. Brent, make sure you're positive. Yeah, and you're in a good mental space.
Yeah,
when you try it.
I am though.
Yeah, all right. I'm just
Max,
checking.
did you eat that chocolate?
No.
So it's still chilling there?
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna take it.
Oh, was that what weed?
No.
No, what is it again?
No. Huh?
What is it again?
Some psychedelic stuff.
Oh, is it? Oh, it must be like a oil thing then.
I don't know,
It's
but
like
apparently it's the real deal.
Okay.
I remember.
But I'm waiting till I'm in a happier space.
That's what I'm saying. Don't take it when you're fucked up. You might go outside and do something crazy. You know what I mean? Because them shits ain't joke. And I remember the ones I had, the truffle, it tastes like eating earth.
Oh, is it?
Imagine digging your hand into the ground and just eating it. That's what the taste was. Nasty, man.
Wow.
Proper nasty.
But I do believe, Emmanuel, because you see them American Indians and stuff, right? And you have the guides, and I think it's ayahuasca.
Yeah,
And,
ayahuasca.
yeah, they talk about the type of journey that they take you on, and the truths that you see, and the experiences that you have, and how it opens up your mind once you come back out of the trip to look at the world differently. Like in my head, when you hear stuff in the Bible about like man just interacting with different gods and beings and whatnot, there must have been some like pathway, some gateway to basically do this on a regular. And I feel as though all that stuff was placed on the earth through these earthy products. And I want to see what's on the other side, man. I do believe that we are living in one particular plane of existence. I do believe that when the Bible talks about spiritualities and powers in high places, this particular realm can be accessed because they have access to us. And I do believe there is a way to get there and still, have your feet planted in this realm. Without leaving this realm.
But you believe it's in the mind.
100%.
Yeah, so it's not a physical realm that you're looking for a portal.
No, but
it's taking a certain substance,
even the mind,
and letting your mind take you to this space.
I believe that you can still die once it is that you go there.
Yeah.
I don't think that our existence is just physical flesh.
Yes.
Because I believe in a spirit. I believe in a soul.
Yeah.
And I believe that we intersect with that particular other realm with things like deja vu.
Okay.
It's too uncanny. It's too real for there not to be some connection, right? When people talk about having, nearly dying and you're seeing certain things and whatnot, when people talk about ghosts and spirits and whatnot, I believe that these are the two realms that are they're interlocked. They're kind of bleeding into each other. So things can happen to you in your physical body, whilst it is that your mind is somewhere else. Do you understand? I believe that. So I don't see it as just like a dream or something that can't affect your life fully. I believe that it's connected. So I know that we don't use all of our brain power. I know that we don't use all of the faculties of our mind because we can't even access all of that sometimes, right? And we've seen certain brains, if it is that they're tuned in a certain way, they can do certain things in the physical realm. You're talking about remote viewing, when it is that you are able to see things in a different location than you are here. You're talking about moving things. I believe in all of that. I mean, the Germans were experimented with that during the World War. They had a whole division dedicated to that. Do you understand? So I want to see what is more out there than just the timeline.
What's the percentage? What's the we only use a certain percentage of our brain. What's the percentage?
I don't know. I think it differs from
person to person. Isn't there like a general number that I've heard before?
It's a minutiae. It's tiny compared to what it is.
I think I use about 30%.
But why?
That's a nice number. I don't know where you got that from.
What? I'm just telling you, I use about 30%.
But isn't it weird that we have brains that we don't fully utilize?
We can't fully utilize.
Yeah, exactly. That we can't. Why? Obviously, this is a question that we can't answer, of course. But it seems strange that we have a brain and it's almost been designed that you can't use it to its full capacity.
I don't know if it's been designed.
Okay.
I believe that there are certain things that we can do to sharpen it, to increase the usage.
Okay.
But we just don't know.
So maybe. All right. So we were meant to tap into it, but we haven't yet. So we haven't discovered a way to tap into certain aspects of our brain power, and maybe with time, we will. Maybe there'll be an age in the future where everyone is working at 100% capacity. And like
I'm not sure about 100%.
Everyone's moving objects with their mind. This is fucking X-Men in this bitch.
I'm not sure if that will ever be realized, but I do believe that people are currently working on ways to achieve that.
How much do you think our brains have developed since, I don't know, the Stone Ages?
A lot.
Exactly. So maybe we need another a lot before it
you
gets
mean
to that
it's
level.
just by just pure evolution?
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that, because I believe that before this age, like there were abilities to, well, there were ways to tap into other parts of the brain through, I don't know. I don't chanting. When people hear chanting, they think more like but certain practices.
Yeah.
I believe so, and I believe that psychedelics or these earthy things.
Yeah.
are
But you hear all the time, you hear entertainers saying, when I'm trying to get into a creative space, I smoke weed, I do this because it taps into my creative juices and whatever. And
if you just think about happiness
Yeah.
and how that changes your entire physiology,
yeah,
that alone is evidence that, all right, what else is out there that we're not doing or we don't know about that could basically change our outlook in life. I'm not saying that psychedelics is a thing, because I know it's been stigmatized over the years.
yeah, of course.
Whenever you hear people talking about it now, just like how he was laughing when you said it was cartoons and whatnot,
Yeah,
that isn't the experience for everybody, 100%,
of course, yeah.
right? And the fact that it's not just the same thing repeated from for everybody based on their own, I find that fascinating.
yeah, of course.
I find that very fascinating. So if it is that we can possibly study that to the degree where we can utilize it for good, then 100% we should do that. And that's I guess how some of the studies started. There was a documentary on Netflix where they were using psychedelics to help cure mentally deranged individuals.
Okay.
And it was showing progress.
Okay.
But then the government came in and said,
To go away.
yep.
You know, okay, I'm going to propose a TDA trip to Amsterdam. Weekend thing. What are you saying? Psychedelics and that. You're thinking about it. You're pondering. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think that's another thing that I've changed my mind about, like traveling and experiencing stuff. I've lived a very, very quote unquote sheltered life, right? It's self-imposed, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like to look to things I can't control, right?
Okay.
So my circle, I can control that.
Yeah.
My prism, I can control that.
Yeah.
But the recent, ventures I've had, I've really enjoyed it, and
Okay.
I've realized how it's made me enjoy life a bit more.
Okay. That's
So
good.
I'm not considering going to Amsterdam to smoke mushrooms,
Yeah.
but maybe.
Eat mushroom. You don't smoke them.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. See, I mean,
So I'm gonna smoke these shrooms, man. I hear that. It's good, man. Explore, man. Explore.
I would have never thought that I would love a guy like Mags the way it is I love the guy, but here we are.
What do you mean? What's that got to do with mushrooms?
No, I just looked at you and just connected the experiences together. How about you,
When you
man?
hear them stories about that stuff, when the people get on the psychedelics, because obviously, it's like the brain, like you're saying, you're opening different parts of your brain. It could just be the brain playing tricks on you because it's powerful. You don't know what it's doing. Yeah, I think that the thing that makes me curious about it is that a lot of different people sometimes explain the same kind of experiences, or like similar things, or seeing similar, I don't know, images or deities, whatever it may be. I don't know.
With the ayahuasca?
That's a deities, What are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, deities, yeah. With the ayahuasca?
Same thing. Yeah, all of that stuff. But it's like there's a part of me that's, because I'm a curious kind of person. You get me trying to say? There's a part of me that wants to like see what's going on over there.
So I agree. The fact that is you're saying that if more than one person is experiencing and detailing the same experience, then there might be that deity or entity that just chills there waiting for people to come there. So this is different than how you feel is what you experience. Because this suggests that no, doesn't matter how you feel, you're going to meet that same thing waiting at the crossroads. Obviously, pardon.
No. I don't think he's saying that people have told him they've seen the same deity.
This is what he's saying, right?
No, if you listen to people recap certain things, the experiences sound similar, like, if that makes sense. For people who don't know each other or didn't do it at the same time or whatever like that, there's similar experiences about seeing things and going to places and rare.
No,
They're not necessarily identical, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
just similar, innit? So that speaks to that maybe that if you take it, you're gonna experience that as well, and then seeing what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but I think Brent's implying that there's this one particular deity that everyone keeps seeing when they, when they're on mushrooms, which I don't think is what you're saying.
No, this mushroom thing. I thought, are you talking about ayahuasca or you talking about mushrooms?
I'm talking about the serious one that
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Rogan
me
and them
too,
man do.
ayahuasca.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So obviously there is this. We've been conditioned to believe that any of this stuff is just the devil playing tricks. Do you understand? And I'm not even saying that isn't the case.
Have we been conditioned to believe
I'm
that?
talking about Christians.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Christians. Anything that goes into the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And you're talking about things that we haven't been taught about properly.
Yeah.
Just call it the devil.
Yeah.
And this is my parents on one like this. Anything that they can't explain,
Yeah.
it's a devil.
Yeah.
Anything they can't, it's a devil. Do
Yeah.
you understand? Now I'm not saying that isn't the case because I know how like wicked and mischievous this mother effer is.
Yeah.
So it might be the case. But
What?
I do believe that the spiritual realm is a thing and it can be accessed. And not only the devil will be chilling there, but angels, other entities that, God has created.
I think it will probably more exist on a physical plane than mentally.
What, the devil?
No, as in the spiritual realm.
What do you mean?
As in you're saying you can tap into this realm by taking psychedelics. So that means the realm is always here.
Yeah, I believe so.
You just have to get there.
I
with
believe
this.
so, yes. Because we can't physically get there.
Yeah.
How can you physically get there?
No, you can't. No, when I say physical, I mean in depth. I mean in passing. I don't mean. It's hard to explain what I mean.
But when you think about death,
Yeah.
death is a closing of your eyes forever.
Yeah.
So your consciousness is no longer there, right?
Okay.
It depends, though. It depends how you see it, though, Ben. Because some people believe the consciousness is what continues. You know
I
what I'm saying?
believe that too.
Yeah.
So as in, when I say consciousness, as in you being aware that you are in this room right now with physical
Okay,
bodies,
Yeah.
that no longer is present.
Yeah.
There is a crossing over of some sorts.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm ascertaining what you're saying.
So I do fully believe that in this particular spiritual space that we can't access in our physical
Okay.
understanding.
You can access it.
We 100%.
With the mind.
Because when we dream, where do we go? We go all over the place. Even when we are awake and deja vu hits us, brother, that's too real to me. That's too real. It's too spooky. So there's a bleeding of both realms in that particular moment, and it lasts for a particular time as much as it is that we can recall what we haven't experienced yet, or have we?
It's interesting, man.
Because if if you believe that people could actually move things with their mind whilst their eyes are open, then brother, what else can our minds do?
There hasn't been cases of that happening, has there?
Of course they have.
No, I mean as in reported.
Yes, they have. It's just research. You just need to Google, and you would then tell yourself, do I believe this or not?
How many times as a kid have you tried?
To move stuff?
Yeah.
I've
You tried as an
maybe
adult?
maybe.
You
No,
tried
I
as an
haven't.
adult with it?
No,
Lie,
but
bro.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what
Everyone left with that.
I don't think it's just
If I
a
stare
case
at it
of
long
looking
enough.
at it and moving it. I think
Yeah.
it's, like I said, it's a... One, you may have to be born with a particular
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
in your mind, right? And then acknowledging, or it being identified, it now needs to be honed
Yeah.
and trained,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of concentration
Yeah.
needs to be had with anything if it is that you get good at something, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the same vibe with me. This remote viewing, for me, is the wildest.
What's remote viewing? Sorry.
Again, when it is that you're in one fixed space, you can basically see things happening in another place.
Yeah, the Babalawas do that, man.
What's that?
People in Yoruba tradition. In Ifa. They can do that, man.
They could do what?
What you just said.
Oh,
so
remote
you'll
viewing.
be there with them,
Okay.
right? And they can see whatever the situation is that you're talking to them about.
I think I'm experiencing that now, man. I'm seeing. I'm seeing Ilford High Street. It's busy. There's bare people walking around. People getting into the shops. There's cars moving. There's buses. Some traffic lights.
This guy.
The human brain's mad. What do you think? What do you speak to like connections with people like when someone's just on your brain all the time? and then
Oh,
like they call you or something like
you
that.
know what? That's what they call a coincidence. Now, play.
Do you think that's a coincidence? Because I think stuff like that happens to me too often for it to be a
No,
coincidence.
I'm playing around. Obviously, I call it a coincidence, but it's kind of uncanny. It's kind of spooky when you're talking about someone and they just phone you, or someone's on your mind and they call you. It happens with me and my mum all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be thinking, I have to call my mum because I ain't called in a while,
Yeah.
and then boom, she called me. I'm
Yeah,
like, fuck, I
exactly.
wanted to call you first.
Yep. But you know what though? Do you
Sorry,
feel
I
like,
woke up the other day, yeah, and someone was just on my mind who I ain't spoke to in months and months and months. No contact whatsoever. And for whatever reason, they were just on my mind. And within hours, they just messaged me. And that was weird because they're not the type of person to even message me anyway. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
something must have prompted you, like something in the universe done something.
I'm not gonna lie, this happens to me
Rough
often.
that
I'll be
line.
honest. This happens to me
Huh?
often. This happens to me often. I'll think about someone, and that person will message me literally in a minute's time. It's happened to me enough times for me to be like, oh, this is weird.
that's true.
I can't explain it. To me, I just say it's a coincidence. It's just chance, as opposed to some type of psychic connection, some unagi thing. You know what I mean?
But do you think that's human beings trying to give certain things meaning?
Yeah.
If you think of the amount of times you think of people or think about situations, and none of that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's more times than not. It doesn't happen, but we only remember when it does.
Exactly.
Because when it does, it's right, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. It's true. Because we
But,
thought about people. We thought about people every single moment of the day, and most of the time
It don't happen.
it doesn't happen. Which is true.
But, you know.
So what have you changed your mind on something that you fully believed in?
Me? I'm not sure if it's okay, you know what? Certain things that pertain to black people, to God, the LGBT community, like just little things here and there. All right, you know what? This may sound like super like stupid in it, but you know, obviously as a kid you have certain views about the LGBT community and whatnot. But I remember like back in the day when I was younger, I used to work in Next, yeah. And one gay guy came in. So he was gay and he was white, yeah. So yeah, and
I don't know where this is going, but I'm intrigued.
Ben, be prepared to hit the just in case. No, but like honestly, yeah, like this guy was one of the nicest people I've ever met that I don't know, and it kind of like not to say obviously I thought people were, you know what I mean, like bad or whatever if they were white or gay or you know what I'm trying to say, but it was enough for me to remember it like after all these years, you know what I'm saying, and that kind of just made me see things like basically. As much as sometimes even now I talk in generalizations, I don't believe in generalizations. You know what I'm saying? I know there's obviously people that are definitely exceptions to the rule. In fact, there's loads of people who are exceptions to the rule. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one turning point for me that maybe just see people, at least try to see people as the individual. You know what I'm saying? And not just a holistic group or whatever. As it pertains to, I guess, black people, I think in the past, I don't think I necessarily believe this. Like if you had asked me many years ago, do I believe this particular thing? I don't think I would have said yes, but I think my behavior kind of may have intimated that I believed all black people could be saved. I don't think that at all now. You know what I'm saying? I believe that
Saved in what sense?
in the sense of, you know, when you try and speak positively about certain things, hoping that black people will maybe think differently, do things differently for themselves, for you know what I'm saying, for us, you know, just moving forward and progressing. I know now, without a shadow of a doubt, that not all black people ever think that way, and we can't waste time trying to get all black people to think that way. You know what I'm saying? And I guess with God, again, kind of like what Brent was saying, like, you know, obviously when you grew up in a Christian household, Sunday school, church every Sunday, things of that nature, you see things through, at least as it pertains to the spiritual world and religion, you see things directly only through the Bible and things that nature. I think now, well, for a long while now, I kind of see it as, I don't just think of the next world, the world beyond, you know, heaven, hell, things of that nature. I see I believe your God, whoever your God is, right, for example, has to serve you in this life as well. That's how I see it. Like if my God didn't care about black people, then that's not my God. As me personally, you know what I'm saying? And I think that belief system even came from my creator. You know what I'm saying? So I can't allow somebody to, like, for example, if I go to a particular church and that church don't talk about black people's problems, doesn't care about it, that's not my church. I have no interest in that particular establishment. You know what I'm saying? My religion, my God has to assist me in the affairs of this life as a black person.
Kevin
You know what I'm saying?
Thompson seemed to think that your God is white.
My God. Firstly, I know, but you're lying, innit? You
No,
probably,
he basically says is your God black?
So he asked the question. He didn't say my God is white, innit?
Yeah, but he's suggesting that Jesus is black. Jesus is white.
Jesus ain't white.
Where? I don't see this.
This is what he's suggesting.
Where?
How do you suggest that?
He suggested it but like 10 minutes ago.
So you ain't gonna be able to find it.
No, it's there. When it is, I was talking. I've just scrolled up.
Yeah.
And he's on the same thing. Look, I'll really talk to you. I'm not lying. This guy basically believes that Jesus is white, man.
No, Jesus is
and
not white.
Christianity is a white religion.
No, it's not white.
This is what he's saying.
No, that's not what you're saying. I'm looking at the comments now.
I'm telling you, Kevin, if it is that you believe this, please let me know or call in. Because these guys seem to think I'm lying.
Unless he deleted it, I can't see nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Jesus obviously is not
No.
white.
No, Kevin Thompson, he asked what
Okay.
color.
I told you that.
No, he asked
guy.
what color is your God. He didn't say your God's white.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, my God is not is not physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, God doesn't exist in.
I understand
in
where
this
he's coming
realm.
from, though, basically.
But didn't God create us in his own image?
Yeah, but God, you see,
Well, it's
like,
all
the
of
way I
us
see-
though. We all look different.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
as in, I mean, human being. We have noses, eyes. I'm not saying that we're twins. I'm saying,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But I understand what he's saying. He's basically saying that Christianity is a white religion.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I don't believe Christianity is a white religion though, because I know
Ain't
the
it?
history. No, not at all. Because why would it be a white person's religion? Because that implies that basically we only got the religion from white people, right?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
That's not historical fact. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the 3rd or 4th century, the biggest proponents of Christianity were African people. They were North African people. These are like all the church fathers, all the Nicene Creed, all the different creeds, the ecumenical councils that happened. A lot of these people were North African. You know what I'm saying? Like were Christians. You know what I'm saying? Without them, you wouldn't have Christianity today.
Someone called you Dr. Umar Johnson Jr.
I'm nobody's junior.
Listen, I'm nobody junior.
Imagine that's what he referred to.
Big up Dr. Umar, man. But you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, I think we hear and believe that, Christianity came to... Don't get me wrong. Christianity was definitely introduced to West Africa, right? At a particular time by white people, missionaries and slave traders and all these type of other animals, right? But introduced to Africa by white people? Not at all. Not at all. But yeah.
Sorry, what about women? Have you
about
changed your mind about women over the years? Yusuf?
In what regard?
Whatever. Any particular beliefs that you held and you now no longer hold because of age, knowledge?
Not really. I've always thought highly of women. I grew up in a household full of women. I've only got sisters, so my thoughts about women have relatively always been positive, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've given, I now hold more grace for them because of how I know now, like, periods affect their hormones and stuff. And
Oh, okay.
Like, it used to puzzle me how they couldn't still make logical decisions, and it's not their fault, innit? And I guess that's opened my mind a lot.
Okay. Oh, I thought there was more after that.
That flows my mouth now.
Okay. Marks, what about you? Anything pertaining to the opposite sex that you've changed your mind about?
No, gal is gal, man.
I said, gal is gal.
We can buy them gal for breed, man. And that we say. That don't change, man.
Everything I...
Well, what about you, Ben? You want to add a bit more to...
How about Africans, Margs?
What about Africans?
Back in the day, did you have a particular mindset?
Marx used to cuss Africans for sure.
Yeah, of course I did, because we was in school and that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I knew
I
you.
still
Were,
cuss
I know.
Africans.
I know
I still
you.
cuss Africans now.
I knew you were the ones. No, but I know back in primary school, Mark was definitely one of the tall, light skinned guy cussing Africans. I knew it, bro. You're a pagan.
That's
Innit?
just the day and age that we grew up in, isn't it? Like that's just like
What
that's
was your go to African diss? Go on.
what's that film when they call it? I ain't no African booty scratcher. What's that film again?
What, Friday?
Nah, man.
African
He
diss.
says it. What film is that where he says it in the beginning of the classroom when he's a little kid? I can't remember, man. Someone in the comments.
Oh, that's Boys in the Hood, no?
Something like that. Then yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
That's what
when they were kids.
Yeah. He was chatting shit, but
Listen, I ain't no African booty scratcher.
obviously, like I'm of the mindset of that we're all the same. It's all the same shit now, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? But obviously, that's just from, like I said, being young and growing up in them times. Those are the kind of things that was happening. From it's always been like we've always been pit against each other, kind of thing. Like Africans, Caribbeans, whatever, black people. It's the same thing going on now. Dark skin, light skin. It's all the same crap in it. I think now it's not just me personally. I think everybody's got more sense and knowledge and understanding that it's all the same shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like our journeys from our ancestors, where we got taken, where we got brought to. It's just by chance that I went mine from a Caribbean island, and it's all. I think I don't think that's got anything. That's nothing profound. That's just growing up and just knowledge and the times that we're living in changing, more knowledge being accessible, and all that kind of shit. You get me?
Yeah. We got a caller.
Fix it light, please, Max.
Fix it.
Good morning, my brothers.
Jeez.
Morning, Kevin
Grand
Samuels.
Rising.
Grand Rising, sir. Grand Rising.
Oh, go on. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Yeah, man. No, I was asking, is your God white in your head?
Yeah, man.
And I was saying that Christianity was definitely introduced to us by the Romans and whatnot. It was not our original African spirituality at the time. You know, we was worshiping Isis and stuff like that. Like we wasn't doing we wasn't following the Roman. They're talking about North Africa's invasion. That's what Iman's referring to.
No,
that was when.
Sorry, go on.
Go on. And that was when the religion started to spread into Africa and North Africa, especially. That was for following the Phoenician invasion, right?
Okay, yeah, the Phoenicians, yeah. No, but you're talking about you're talking about a later time period, you know. I'm talking about like
that's like 300 AD.
Yeah. No. Around 300. You remember, like in like 200 AD, you had people like Tertullian. You had people like Origen. Even in like early 100, second century, these people were North African. These were like the biggest proponents of Christianity. This is long before people from the East came to Africa. You know what I'm saying? So like, and also it depends on how you even view Israel. Do you view Israel around that time as as part of Africa?
Yeah, I would say it was. All of it was. The only thing that separated us and like even Indian land was the Suez Canal, right? And the Suez Canal was man-made, right?
Exactly. So even
so
back
that's
then,
all our land, all the way from there, all the way across. Which is why I understand the emergence of Baal and certain of them type of names of gods. You know what I'm saying? Tanit, and I get them because there was such a broad land. I know there was loads of different religions across Africa in general, but Christianity wasn't a dominant religion of ours in terms of our ancestry.
If you're talking about West Africa, then 100% I agree with you. But if you're talking about just like, but again, it depends on when you would call something dominant. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Christianity started 2,000 years ago. At that time, it was pretty much a small sect. You know what I'm saying? But around that time, when it started to grow, it went north into like, you know, Asia Minor and stuff like that, Turkey, Greece, but it also went down into Egypt, Alexandria and stuff. That happened in the 1st century. So you had, you know what I'm saying? So it went in both directions. One can't necessarily say, oh, it's a white man's religion. it was in Africa before it got to Europe. You know what I'm saying? Before it even got to like where these white people, the Brits and the Spanish and the Portuguese even gave it to us in West Africa. It was in Africa before. It may not have been in West Africa, but the Ethiopians had it. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians had it. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Ethiopians definitely had a form of it, but I wouldn't say we had what we would traditionally call it today. Like most of these churches and most of these, in terms of Christianity, I'm just generalizing.
Yeah.
Most of these have a white Jesus at the forefront, which would implicate a white.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're gonna say that, then I think you're more so talking about Catholicism. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about that, then okay, I can agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Roman Catholic Church, all that type of stuff, 100%. You know what I'm saying? That would have come from, you know what I'm saying, the whites and stuff in Europe. But if you're talking about the actual teaching of Christ, that definitely wasn't a white man's religion. That wasn't white man's thinking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They took the name Christ and they put it from our thing with Osiris and Isis and whatnot, right? It's our story, but we've given a different name.
I see why you would say that. I don't necessarily. I believe certain teachings was influenced by maybe certain teachings in Kemet, Egypt, and stuff like that. But Christianity, I think, develops independently of those type of ideas, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe anyway. Not entirely.
You have to look at the main pushing. Yeah, because the main pusher of it was the Romans, right? You're talking about like, what was his name? Oh, what was his name again?
What Roman? What are you talking about? Roman emperor?
Yeah.
You're talking about Constantine.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Right. He was one of them. They were the main proponents of the push of it. That was what really, that was what a lot of the religious wars was about, right?
I think other things were attached to it, like, you know, power and land, and then you kind of just use your religion to kind of justify why you would do it, kind of. But I don't think. But remember, Constantine was the emperor again, like you were saying, around 300 AD, right? Like it was in Africa before he was.
Well, no, Augustine. Saint Augustine was the original one, right? And he was from North Africa.
Yeah, Augustine
he was one of the guys that pushed it quite a lot. Yeah, and he pushed it quite a lot as well. Augustine was black, right?
I mean, he was definitely African. Yeah, he was from a modern day.
He was African, yeah.
Yeah. Was he modern day Tunisia, maybe? Something like that?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these church fathers were, if you don't want to call them black, like so-called Negroid, they were definitely African. They weren't white. You know what I'm saying? And these were the main people who were pushing, you know what I'm saying? Main people who were pushing Christianity. Without these people, we wouldn't have Christianity today. You know what I'm
saying? It's just the way that it's pushed to the mainstream now, I guess. Like that's what I'm referring to, like you said earlier, is maybe Catholicism. But that's why I was asking Brent, what color does your church have a picture of Jesus up in there? Is he a white man?
No, I don't get wrapped up in stuff like this. Like I said, at a certain point, I don't even look at Christianity the way you guys are even discussing it. You're talking about when was it first instituted. I'm looking at God. God was in the beginning, from the very beginning, before Jesus came along, before they started saying, let's wrap a name around this particular teaching of this son of mine. I'm going right from the very beginning. And before all of that, black, white, it was just what God has ordained, which was in my head, black. Do you understand? So right from the very beginning, God was a fan of blacks.
Was what?
That's how I've seen it. You guys are just stopping at Christianity. I'm going like way before them.
But it's because you say you're Christian. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the question is like that.
That's why I'm asking. Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because you said that's what you are. So I'm saying, when you go to your church, do they have a picture up of a big blonde, blue-eyed white guy?
They don't have Christ depicted like that. I don't go to a Catholic church.
Okay, but what do they have depicted in your church?
They don't have pictures of Christ on a gaff.
They don't have no depictions whatsoever.
No, they don't.
I'm asking.
And
I'm
in
asking
my head,
that they
Jesus
don't
is not
have
a
no
white man.
depictions of Christ.
In my head, he's not a white man
That's
anyway.
good.
Like I don't get caught up in these particular murky waters, because in doing that, you see, how you and Emmanuel are going back and forth. Emmanuel has pushed on and has continued living his life with the knowledge that he has, and you are stuck on this particular thing.
No, I'm not stuck on it. I'm alright with it. I'm asking because I understand the psychological implications overall. You know, like when you do have, and a lot of people do, you have to remember, quite a lot of people do have that image. When you ask them deeply, you're saying you don't get involved. And you're saying to you in your head that Jesus is black, which is cool. But quite a lot of people don't have that necessary image of a black God or a black Jesus, which is, it talks a lot to the underlying subconscious issues that people will have. If you don't have an image of something as powerful as yourself that you're worshipping to, it can create a lot of problems.
Yeah. Like, I definitely see where Kevin's going with it, because like if you go to China, the Christians over there, Jesus looks Chinese, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
if you go to like different places, the Jesus looks like the people. It's only in Africa, only amongst black people, that Jesus looks white, and that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So
it is a big problem. Am I wrong with E, man? It's a big problem, right?
You're 100% correct. 100%.
Why do you not think there's different religions?
Right.
I think there's different religions.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
I think, you know, I feel like people had or wanted to have ways of describing and explaining certain phenomena. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, it starts off with your consciousness and awareness of who God is, right? And then from there, you kind of just have certain reasons for why you think this particular thing happens and this particular thing happens. And also people have, like, for example, obviously, I don't want this conversation to go left, right, or whatever, but like, if you look at Islam, right, to me personally, Islam it's not a religion. Unless you're talking Nation of Islam, I don't think that Islam is necessarily a religion for black people. Put it that way, right? I'm talking very broadly, though, right?
I hear that. Right. You know, it's one of our biggest religions in Africa, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the second biggest, most dominant religion in Africa.
100%.
And probably worldwide.
100%. But remember, Islam, like Christianity, not entirely like Christianity, but and also definitely not entirely.
You know, you're about to say.
Yeah, all right. Not entirely all of Islam, but Islam was introduced to Africa, you know, through trade and things of that nature, but also through slavery. You know what I'm saying? They enslaved Africans for 800 years. You know what I'm saying? And to me, when I look at the Quran and I look at the life of Muhammad and stuff like that, I see somebody that was trying to big up and edify Arabs, to unify Arabs. You know what I'm saying?
Know the Moors were black, right?
Some of the Moors were black, I would say. Not all of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how I see it. So I mentioned all of that just to say I believe Islam was a way of unifying the people who were the different Arab cultures that were fighting each other at the time, and to make them a force against the Christians and the Jews that were kind of also prevalent in the area. So yeah, long story short, to answer your question, I think it's for different reasons. I think people just wanted to have ways of explaining certain phenomena around them in their culture and the environment, but also I think it was a way to bring people together and have one common goal, so that those people as a people could thrive in a particular area. You know what I'm saying? And I think that happens in different walks of life.
Okay, interesting.
I would honestly say that for the most part, it's about control, you know, and we as humans, we can't exist without having some type of
order,
some type of understanding of order and consequence and afterlife. And like, if you took away your religion and you took away that belief that there was a consequence for the life that you live now, you would live a very, very different life.
Yeah.
You know, the moment that you thought that, wow, this was it, you wouldn't be living broke out here if this was your last run. Or your only one run. You'd make different decisions, you know? So it's part of our need for order. Otherwise, without it all goes out the window. You know, and you remember the old game Civilization back in the day?
No, I don't know that game, you know.
there's a game called Civilization, right? And when you build civilizations, you pick a nation and you build the civilization. And one of the first things you have to do in it is to pick your religion. It's the most important part of a structure for any society to advance. Historically, like, doesn't matter what they are, it's one of the first bases of society, because we live and we die. So you have to establish some type of understanding of creating ancestry and religious zealotry, because that's more reliable than a lot of other forms of leadership.
Interesting.
But yeah, James,
I've never thought about religion and race in the way you guys are describing. As in, is a religion for black people? Is it for white people? That's never really been a thought of mine. For me, religion was more so a place where all races can unify, regardless of where you're from, as opposed to, is this religion for blacks? Is this for white? Am I serving a white? Am I serving a black God? I've never looked at it that way at all. Interesting to hear you guys speak on it.
I think a lot of people don't think of it that way. Like you said, I think a lot of people kind of see it as something to unify people.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you look back at particular religion's inception, you kind of can't help but think this came from amongst a particular culture. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, if the practices of that
reason.
But the thing is, if the practices of that religion speak to you, and you know your spirituality, your faith, and your connection with God is serving you, then what does it matter who brought it to you?
I agree with you, and this is why this is why I big up Nation of Islam, because as much as obviously I'm brought up in a Christian household, when I look at the Nation of Islam, the things that Elijah Muhammad did, I can't help but think this has its place, and I have to respect it, because it's turned men who would have been useless men, useless husbands, useless fathers, useless brothers, and things of that nature into respectable men who look after their household and who actually want the betterment of their community. The Nation of Islam did that. Who am I now to say, because I don't worship in the same way as them, that this is bad? You see what I'm saying? So I agree with what you're saying there. But when I look back at certain things and I interrogate certain ideas and stuff, I can't help but think it came from this particular culture for a reason, and it was mainly, at least at that particular time, primarily to aid those people. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But yes,
you have to remember.
Go on.
You have to remember each religion has like a mythical importance. Like the way that the tales are told. Like when you read the Bible, each story has mythical and cultural importance. Like it matters to that culture. The way that they told that story breaks down what that culture means and is, and how that culture is structured. You know, so like when you go into Greek history with mythology and Zeus and the image that they gave him, it's not an accident. Everything, you can't create such an intricate story without every single aspect of it being on purpose. You know, like there's a reason why we associate God being this old man in the sky, or even the fact that we associate him being male in the first place. Like there's reasons behind all of it. So it's definitely a unifier if you want it to be, but it's got to have some type of implicit understanding of yourself, your culture, your race even.
But the thing is,
you go to Indian religion,
sorry, the beepings. Do you feel like I don't know, churches or mosques, they're racially motivated in any type of way? Like from the messages that they teach, from, you know, just going to lectures, going to talks. Do you feel like there's an undertone of race there?
I believe this is the thing. I think because of how I see the world through a pro-black lens.
That's the thing. I feel like you and Kevin are kind of like, is he on the line still? Is he gone?
Kevin, you have 2 minutes left, yeah? 2 minutes left. Someone else is trying to call.
All right, cool. I thought...
all good.
You two, if I'm wrong, correct me. You and Kevin kind of come from similar school of thought, right?
Okay.
So I think you're both bringing in your, you know, your grand rising
Yeah.
ness, and you're mixing it in with religion, and that's why you both are on the same page in regards to this, isn't it? I don't know if Brent or Mark see religion as the same way as you guys, but I feel like your interest in blackness is it's just mixing the two together. I've never really looked at it like this way at all. Even, for example, when I think of Allah, I don't think of a race. I don't think of, what color is he? I don't even really imagine a person. If I was to, I would probably imagine him being black because I'm black.
There you go. And that's a good thing.
I'm going to imagine him based off my own likeness.
That's great.
When I think of a higher being, I don't think of a white man because I'm not white.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's not an intentional decision.
Yeah.
It's just innate for me to think of him as black if I was to picture him.
There you go.
So in that respect, then the religion is what I want it to be.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But the problem is, a lot of us have had something done to us, so we don't see it like you see it.
Yeah.
We see it as, okay, Christ is white. And if you change Christ to a black image, people have problems. Even black people will find it hard to look at this black Christ and think, this is normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a problem. And also, like, I get what you're saying, but if you look at Islam, for example, how do you convert to Islam?
All right, pause.
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you, brothers. Have a great day.
You too,
Likewise.
man. Thank
Great
you.
show, yeah. Keep up the work.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Sharif, or Sharif, however you pronounce it. When you're
Sharif.
ready, Sharif.
Yeah, Sharif.
When you're ready, please call in. Continue, Manuel.
Okay.
Hold on, let Sharif call in first.
Yeah.
I'm assuming by
Sharif.
his name that he's
Muslim.
He's a Muslim.
Yeah, he wants to ask you a couple of questions about Islam. Emmanuel.
Nice.
I think he got offended when you had suggested that Islam isn't really a black man's thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's going to call in.
Okay. I feel like one I'm about to say will probably be a point against what Sharif will do.
100%.
So that's why I want to wait. That's why I want to wait about that particular idea.
All right.
But
Yeah. Even going back to what you're saying about Arabs and that, right? So it wasn't until a few years ago that I actually, like I said before, I've never thought about there being a divide between race when it comes to religion. I always looked at it like it's something to bring us all together, right?
yeah.
So someone broached the idea to me that Arabs they look down upon blacks. I think I've spoken to you about this before, Brett.
Yeah.
It's fact.
And how I never thought about that. It's never been something that's been on my mind. It's never something I felt like I've even faced or come across. And that Arabs don't particularly like black people, and that same notion exists within Islam. So there was a mosque I used to go to, which was literally next to my house, and it wasn't Arab per se, but it was Asian. It was mixed, Arab Asian mixed, right? And when I was to go to mosque on Fridays, I would be literally like the only black person there. I felt completely comfortable going. I never even walked in there thinking I'm the only black person, because to me we're all Muslims, and that's what is the common denominator here. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian. We're Muslim, innit? We're one, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until after that conversation, and I was getting examples from Crystal, a few other people that were in the room, right? The next time I went into the mosque, I felt a bit uncomfortable because now the idea is been planted in my head that I'm not welcome in this mosque because I'm black. You know what I'm trying to say? And for the first time in my life, I felt uncomfortable in the mosque, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, I never looked at religion as something that divides race. I looked at it like something that brings races together. Yeah. I've never looked at religion in a racial way ever in my life.
Ever.
You know what I mean?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Morning. I listen to you lot. You lot are doing good things, I listen to you lot near enough every day while I'm working and all of that. You get me? You lot are doing proper good things. I wanted to start with that.
I appreciate that.
Man, your statement was wild. So, like, Islam isn't for black people. Like, that statement was so wild.
Okay.
You say you're a follower or you're interested in the views of the nation and things like that.
Yeah.
So I have one question.
Okay.
When Malcolm X went on Hajj and prayed next to black people and white people, and came back from Hajj, what was his statement?
He pretty much said, that basically Islam was obviously a good religion, and that in Islam, when I sat down and ate with black people and white people, we were all equal. That's pretty much what he was saying, isn't it?
Yeah, because the nation was telling people that white people are devils, correct?
Yeah.
So he went on Hajj and then discovered that not all white people are devils.
Yeah.
I'm praying right next to white people. Islam embraces all of that. Islam is something that embraces every creed.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with creed. It's about praying to your God, being a slave servant of your God.
Yeah.
For you to turn around and say Islam ain't for black people, I found that astonishing, dog.
All right, you know what? Let me clarify, right?
Cool.
I shouldn't say Islam is not for black people. I should say its inception primarily didn't have black people as a consideration, right? Do I believe black people can gain something from Islam? 100 million %. 100%, right? But the reason why I say those type of things is because black people, unless, again, you believe ancient Arabs or Arabs during the time of Muhammad were black. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
You believe that Muhammad was a black man?
No, he wasn't a black man. He was an Arab. Where was he born? He was born in the Middle East. He can't be black. He was an Arab.
Cool. No. I know it may sound like a stupid question, but some people believe that Muhammad was black, right? But if you're now saying that Muhammad was an Arab, right? Mm-hmm. I have to ask you, right? If I'm a Christian, right? How do I? If you don't know, just let me know. How do I become a Christian? I can say in any tongue, right, that Jesus Christ is Lord, and I believe him to basically have died and raised from the dead, and he's God, this, that, and the third, and I accept him as my savior. That's it. How do you become a Muslim?
Well, you don't have to say it in Arabic, dog. There's transliteration.
There's transliteration.
There's one God, and prophet is the Muhammad.
Yeah.
And the prophet is Muhammad. The last prophet was Muhammad. You don't have to say it in Arabic to become a Muslim.
Okay. But is there not a preferred way to say it?
But
be honest.
No, but why? No, but yes, the Arabic language is the preferred language, and you know you reap benefits and reward from learning Arabic and from learning how to read the Quran.
Yeah.
But following the prophet.
Yeah, but what's the issue with that?
Also,
Sharif, whatever you're doing in the background.
Stop brushing your teeth with that electric toothbrush.
Yeah, whatever you're doing is making hell of
if you see my name is Sharif Nichols, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first name is an Islamic name because my mum was Muslim.
Yeah.
My surname is a Christian name because my grandmother on my father's side Christian. My dad's a rat, so my shit's a bit complicated. Anyway, regardless of that, so I've grown up with both teachers, isn't it?
Yeah.
But my understanding is you don't have to say it in any particular tongue to become Muslim. I can turn around and say that I believe in Islam, I believe in its books, I believe in its prophets, and I am Muslim.
Yeah.
I don't have to say it in an Arabic tongue to be Muslim. The Arabic is just preferred because that was that was how it was given to us.
Yeah, but you have to understand. Yeah, 100% makes sense, right? But if you go to a mosque today, right, and you want to become a Muslim, more times than not, if not, I would pretty much say all the time. But again, you guys are the Muslims. You have to correct me, right? But more times than not, we're going to say what? We're going to say the Shahada in Arabic.
My question is, what is it?
Of course.
The problem and it's not a problem or an issue. It's just to highlight the pushing of Arabic culture. You know what I'm saying?
That's where it came from, my brother.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say to you. And this is why I say...
Yo. Whatever you're doing in the background is making hella noise.
Oh, sorry. I'm working. I was drilling. Sorry.
Okay.
Apologies. And this is why I'm saying, that yes, it came from Arabic culture, but there's something that wants to hold on to Arabic culture and also put onto you Arabic culture. There's a reason why when a lot of if you follow the Sunnah, right, which is the practice of Muhammad, right, a lot of those things, if you follow them to a T, if we're being entirely honest,
can I interject?
Go on.
The issue I'm having with this conversation is I've never had an issue in embracing Arabic culture.
Okay.
I've never seen it as an issue before.
Okay.
I've never even.
Neither have I.
This is the first time in my life
this
has even been broached to me.
Can I ask you a question quickly?
Yeah, go on.
But do you acknowledge that in taking on all of these practices, the Sunnah, and being a full-blown Muslim, right, that you are taking on a lot of Arabic culture?
I just said I have no issue with that.
No, I know.
And
but
also,
No,
and
no,
also-
no.
wait.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. It's just the language.
And I don't believe taking on Arabic culture diminishes my blackness in the slightest.
I'm not saying it does.
So then what's the issue?
That's what I'm saying. Forget the issue part of it.
Okay.
Do you acknowledge that you are taking on Arabic culture?
No, just the language. Just for me, it's just the language.
Do you
The
follow
culture is being Muslim.
Okay,
the
cool.
culture is being Muslim.
All right. Do you
The
follow
language
do you follow
is
the Sunnah?
Arabic.
Do you follow the Sunnah?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Cool.
When I can. I'm not the greatest Muslim in the world, so
Okay,
I'm not
yeah,
the
of
best
course.
person to be talking about this.
No one's perfect, Sharif. Right? Cool. So that's fine. But when I compare taking on Islam, right, and being a Muslim to Christianity or to other belief systems, I'm not required to do the same things. I don't need to say the grace, the benediction, or the Savior's prayer in Jewish. I don't need to say it in Greek. I don't need to say it in anything. I can say it in English. And I get what you're saying. Yeah, you can say the Shahada in English, but there's a reason why you have to say it in Arabic. There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? And if we
What's
look
the reason?
deeper,
What's the reason? What's the reason?
it was because the Quran, right, and Islam was primarily made for Arabs. It's fact. It's fact. If you want,
That's not facts, bro.
The thing
That's
is,
not facts,
the
bro.
thing is, you know what it is. This conversation is new to me, so I'm not even best placed to argue with you.
Yeah.
But you can't state these as facts
Okay, cool.
because they're not facts.
Okay, cool. You know what, Sharif, I want you to also
Yes,
understand,
brother.
because I feel as though you're getting what I'm saying, right? But at the same time, I want you
I'm
to
getting
forget-
it, but
Okay,
I'm
wait.
getting it, and I'm slightly offended.
The
But
thing
carry
is,
on.
Iman, let me just say this. We
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We just don't see an issue with it.
No,
Like,
that's fine. I just want to say
because
one
I know,
thing.
but your emphasis is behind us taking on Arabic culture.
Yeah.
And we're like, and so what? And
Okay.
But to you, you're like, you see that as a problem.
I don't see it necessarily as a problem. I see it only as a
You
problem.
do.
No, wait. I see it as a problem if it's replacing black. What it means
But
to be
but I
black.
just said it hasn't diminished my black.
So what's black?
That's why I
So what's
said
black
this.
culture then? What's the black culture that you're taking?
and-
What's the
and-
black
and-
language?
And
then?
also, sorry, let me ask a question in the comments because it might speak to.
Okay, cool.
So Ebony Onyx asked me, what mosque did I grow up in? Right,
Yeah.
my mosque was predominantly Nigerian
Yeah.
growing up. So the mosque I just referenced a second ago was a mosque that I went to, last year, the year before, as an adult. But growing up, I went to a predominantly Nigerian mosque.
Yeah.
The mosque is called the Muslim Association of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So when you walk in there, it's very black.
Yeah.
It's like you're walking into Nigeria, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so it's
And that's good.
it's a good mixture
Yeah.
of culture and religion. Everyone in there is your auntie. Everyone in there is your uncle. There's jollof cooking. It's you're in Nigeria, but also it's religion at the same time.
Yeah.
It's mixed, right? On Fridays,
Yeah.
when it's time for Jummah, everyone comes in.
Yeah.
Arabs, whites, Asian. Just because it's a Nigerian mosque, it doesn't mean that if you're not Nigerian, you're not welcomed in.
Yeah.
The committee, the people who founded the mosque,
Yeah.
the ones who come on a daily basis, the ones who run the mosque,
Yeah.
even when it comes to Arabic school and madrasa and stuff, is predominantly Nigerian. But the mosque is open to everyone. Yeah. The point I'm making is wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry, bro. The point I'm making is
Go on, my brother. Go on.
that mosque was heavily engrossed in being Nigerian and being black, as well as being Muslim. It was a great balance.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like anyone in that mosque, from the imams to the heads to whatever, that their blackness or their sense of culture or tradition was lost at all because of Arabic culture.
But again, this is what I'm trying to say to you. Notice when you said that, I'm smiling
Yeah,
because I'm seeing you holding on to what it means to be black.
yeah,
In Christianity, sometimes when I see black people taking on Christianity, and I'm seeing the blackness, right, or what it means to be, whatever their culture is, ethnicity-wise, right, go in because you just want to be, I want to be now a New Age Jew or whatever it may be, right, to be a Christian through your eyes, yeah. To me, I see that as a problem. So it's not necessarily an Islam thing only. It's a taking on a religion, substituting what you are. And I believe personally, again, you guys have to correct me, but I believe personally, more than Christianity, Islam kind of facilitates that. Because again, you're taking on a language. What many of us don't even speak our mother tongue, but yet we want to learn Arabic. You see what I'm saying? Many of us can't do that. Why are we putting Arabic above Yoruba? Why are we putting Arabic above Tree? Why are we doing those type of things? You know what I'm saying? To me, that's because the religion is doing. Christianity doesn't do that.
Also, just
that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Also, just to go off that point as well, my mosque had Arabic lessons and Yoruba lessons.
Again,
I'm happy. Lessons.
And again, I'm happy.
I'm from Ghana,
yes.
and my people, they speak Hausa.
And also
of Arabic and Tree and all those other dialects that they speak in that place.
And during the lectures, Yoruba is spoken as well as English.
Yeah.
They even sometimes have a Yoruba translator, as in the imam might do the khutbah. The imam might do it in Yoruba, and then someone will translate in English.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I'm happy about those type of things, but I see it as a lot of the time when people take on Islam, right, and we move to Saudi Arabia, and we take on the Sunnah. If for example, you were to look at them, you wouldn't necessarily see any traces of what it means to be from their home country. You would see somebody
because the religion is trying to unify people, not segregate people.
Fantastic, but why are we unifying?
Wait! I wasn't finished, brother.
Okay,
I wasn't finished.
Yeah, go on, bro.
Finished. Because that's where it came from originally. The Prophet is from an Arab, and he was given the revelation. He's an Arab. His mother tongue is Arab. He was given the revelation. We don't know what revelation, what mother tongue Jesus spoke. It was just given to us in English by the white people. Jesus is not from England. He never spoke English.
Yeah.
So why is Christianity all in English? Explain that to me.
But Christianity is not all in English.
And that's the comments
that a
lot of people are making in the comment section. Can you respond?
I've never seen a Bible written in a different language. I've seen Bibles in English, bro.
I've got Yoruba Bible at home.
The whole... Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the different translations in every single country.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But why? What was Jesus Christ's mother tongue? Where was he born?
Jesus Christ was born in Israel, isn't it?
Israel. So what would have been his mother's tongue? And Israel. It wouldn't have been Israel. It would have been Palestine.
Yeah.
We would have really talk about stuff. Yeah. So what would have been his mother's tongue?
They would have been.
What would have been his mother's tongue?
They would have been speaking Hebrew, innit?
Okay. So why would you not speak Hebrew today? Why is Christianity not Hebrew today?
But that's the point I'm trying to make, because that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't need to connect with my God speaking Hebrew. I can speak in whatever tongue I'm comfortable. But if Christianity was trying to say, to be a Christian, you have to say the Savior's Prayer in Hebrew, then I have to ask myself, why do I need to say it in your tongue? Why is your tongue better than my tongue? Or more efficient at saying, you know what I'm trying to say? Saying the Savior's Prayer in your tongue. Why? You see what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily...
I explained to you, there's transliteration. You can pray in any dialect.
Yeah, you don't have to pray in Arabic.
But you look, no, I'm
you
not.
You don't have to pray in Arab.
But bro, you guys know I'm not saying praying. I'm specifically talking about...
No, but what it is following the Sunnah, innit?
Yeah.
So when you try to be Arab or try to be like that, you're following the closest... The Prophet was the greatest person on earth, yeah? That's how we see it, yeah?
Okay.
He's the greatest person on earth, innit? So if you try to be as much like him, you're guaranteed heaven.
Okay.
So we tried to mimic him. He was an Arab. He spoke in Arab. So we mimic him. He wasn't an Englishman. He wasn't an African man. He was an Arab. So we mimic him, and we know him to be the greatest man on earth. And that's our best way to get to heaven. Following that dog.
Again, I respect it. And again, Sharif, you sound like a very reasonable, intelligent guy, right? And so if Islam has allowed that to be your reality, I respect it, and I can't talk bad about Islam. And this is what I was saying earlier. I can't do it, and I won't do it. You know what I'm saying? I've got Muslim family. Half of Nigeria is Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Half of Yoruba land.
Yeah.
That's what matters to me. Right? Is Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
But then, sorry.
Hey, listen, brothers, I'm not going to lie. I've got a cut. I've got to go back to work.
Thank you
very much. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for the talk, yeah?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Cheers.
So then, in your mind, obviously, you follow the Nation of Islam, right?
Not entirely, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a Muslim.
Yeah, no, I know you wouldn't consider yourself a Muslim, but you follow the teachings of
some of them,
Muhammad, some of them, whatever.
Yeah.
So, what is it about the Nation of Islam versus
Orthodox
traditional Islam that has captivated you?
I think it's because it speaks to the pain and the reality of black people directly.
But do you see it as a true religion? Do you see it, for example, if if I was
Yeah.
someone who practiced, let's say I was in the Nation of Islam,
Yeah.
right? Would you see that for me as a gateway to paradise?
See, I don't necessarily concern myself with that.
No, but just try to concern yourself with it now if you can.
All right.
So, do you see that if I was in the Nation of Islam, do you see that for me, considering when that religion, I don't even know if it's a religion, it's not even a religion, it's a subsidiary of Islam that was made in 1930 by a particular person.
Yeah.
Do you see that as a true form of religion where if I was in the Nation of Islam, would you see me as someone who's going to paradise?
The reason why I find it difficult to answer, right, is because Nation of Islam aside, I wouldn't necessarily say that about any other religion as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So I need to be fair. I wouldn't say that about Islam. I wouldn't say that about Judaism. I wouldn't even say about
The
Christianity.
reason why I'm saying it is because Nation of Islam, you like it because it speaks to your blackness. You for me, you mix religion and blackness, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
Yeah.
So I don't take issue with it being great to learn Arabic, read the Quran. I have never in my life thought of that in a negative way or in a way where it's taken away from my traditions, my values as a black man.
I hope sorry to cut you. I hope you don't think I'm saying it's a negative thing also.
That's how it sounds.
No, then
that's how it sounds. I'm not saying your perspective is completely bad or negative, but it sounds like you're saying why does Arabic need to be at the forefront? And because it is at the forefront, it means that it's for Arabs and not for black people.
I would say it started and I believe the inception and all of that was primarily for Arabs. And I think that's historical fact.
Okay, cool.
Do I think it can be good and be used by other people and it has bettered other people? 100% too. Yeah.
So if it is a fact, let's just say it is a fact, right? I don't see no issue with that.
And that's cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said to you, I'm smiling when you're saying that because in your experiences that you've taken on Islam, but you've not forgotten what you are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not trying to become an Arab. And if you're being honest, let me not say if you're being honest.
But the thing is, the way you said that, become an Arab, like I know so many black Muslims. Yeah. Nobody is trying to be Arab. Like I don't even understand where.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
But hear me out though. I don't understand where that even comes from in you. Learning the Quran doesn't mean you're trying to be Arab.
Yeah.
Wearing a robe doesn't mean you're trying to be Arab. It doesn't. So what does trying to be Arab look like? Because, bro, learning how to read the Quran and speaking Arabic does not mean you're trying to be Arab. So what to you is being Arab?
I think it's, again, like I was trying to say, a lot of people conflate Islam with Arabism. I believe that your experience is the reason why you have this position. Because like you said, maybe recently or whenever it was, you never, it was only until somebody said to you this particular thing, that Arabs look down on black people, this, that, and the third. But I have to tell you, the reality is that's a fact, and that's happened for decades. It happened for decades, right? There's a reason why there's that dynamic, because Arabs know where Islam came from. You know what I'm saying? They understand it, and they see it in a particular. It's a similar problem that Judaism had as well. They believed they had a monopoly on God. They were telling Christians, you need to become circumcised like us Jews before you become Christian. It's a similar type of dynamic. Paul changed that with Christianity. He said, whatever you are, come as you are. Speak in whatever tongue is native to you, to your creator, and that's enough. Islam doesn't do that. Judaism doesn't do that. Other belief systems, some of them don't do it. I'm not here to try and say Christianity is better than other. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not interested in that type of discussion at all. So I hope you're not thinking that. But what I am saying is, when we take on Islam, for example, there's a lot of our brothers and sisters, right, who try their best to become the best Muslims. And if you look at them 10 years later, they look as though they are Arabs. They fit in Arab culture.
You mean in terms of how they dress?
Dress, think, talk, all of that. Because you have to remember, you're taking on a culture. You may not see it because of your experience, but believe what I'm saying to you. You're taking on a culture. You know what I'm saying? If I was to take on Judaism right now, right, I would cut my hair in a particular way. That's Jewish culture. I may say to you, one second. I may say to you, that's not an issue with me. And it doesn't have to be an issue. But the reality is, my hairstyle is now Jewish culture. the way I wear my trousers,
Yeah.
the tassels I would wear,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the yarmulke,
Yeah.
all of them type of things there is Jewish culture. Now, I may say I don't have a problem with that. Again, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I wasn't looking like this before, and now I am. I look like a Jew. That's all I'm saying.
But the thing is, yeah, okay, cool. I know all types of Muslims, right? And
Yeah.
even the Muslim that you're describing right now, the ones who look Arab, okay, I'll use quotation marks, right? In terms of
Yeah.
how they dress, the length of their trousers, their dialect, how they speak, the tone of their voice, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
The guys like that I know are still very much black.
Yeah.
And how they present themselves hasn't taken away from their blackness in the slightest. So there's no issue there.
And again, that's fine. That's what I'm
There's
saying
no
to
issue
you.
there.
That's what I'm saying to you, Yusuf. I'm happy when there's no issue and you're still a black person.
Do you know black men who have completely and utterly shred themselves of their blackness and now they present themselves as completely Arab? Do you know anyone like?
I believe so, yeah.
No, do you know men like that?
No, I'm
because
saying
I know
believe
a
so.
lot of Muslims and
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
no one
more
like
Muslims than me, 100%.
that.
You're
So
Muslim.
that's why I'm trying to find it hard to resonate with your sentiment because I don't know any Muslim like that. Who
Do you know what it is?
who believes that he is Arab first, or you know what I'm trying to say, or because
I didn't say Arab
left.
first.
2
though.
minutes left.
because Islam is heavily not heavily influenced, sorry, because Arabness is within Islam. That now to them, I must be Arab first before I'm black, before I'm Nigerian, before I'm Ghanaian. No,
I'm not saying that, by the way. You know, I'm not saying you become Arab first. What I am saying is it's just simply there's an exchange of culture. I think that's the best way to explain it. There's an exchange of culture. Like if I'm Nigerian, for example, I may wear an agbada or something like this or something.
but what's the problem though? That's the thing.
Again, it's not necessarily about what the problem is.
Yeah. Because you have to understand the position you're in,
Yeah,
and the side of the argument you're on.
yeah.
No matter what you're saying to me, it sounds like you're saying this is a bad thing. There's
Okay,
no
all
other
right.
way it can come across.
Okay, cool. Let me put it to you like this.
1 minute.
Okay, one last thing I'll say here. If you're Muslim, again, like Sharif was saying, like you're saying, like many family members I have and other people that we know, and you're black, and you remember that you're black and your ethnicity and this, that, and the third, beautiful, 100%.
Yeah.
You're using it in the way I believe, who am I though?
Yeah.
But in the way I believe is good for you, right? If you're taking on the belief system and all of a sudden you're no longer Yoruba, you're no longer Akan, you're no longer from Ivory Coast and Togo and them type of beliefs there, and you now, your dialect even changes. You were never even born in the country, but your dialect changes somehow, right? And you take on everything that Arabs take on. To me, I think that's a bit of a problem because there's an exchange. There's a losing of what you are and taking on what somebody else is. That's all I'm trying to say to you. If it still makes your life better, it's a beautiful thing. This is why I'm not rubbishing it. I want to be very clear there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, why is it that we do that? You know what I'm
And
saying?
you're also saying, even with Christianity, if it is that it erodes your blackness.
Oh, 100%. Even with Christianity, this is not an Islam thing. Thank you for saying that, Brent. It's not an Islam thing. It's a I just believe it happens more in Islam because Islam has much more structure. You know what I'm saying? More rigidity than Christianity. You know what I'm saying? In that regard. That's all I'm saying to you.
All right. Last words, Yusuf?
No, someone asked Mark's thinking, when's the rotation?
Yeah, I'm just letting you not go off, man. The religion gets on my nerves, man. But obviously, here at TJ, we respect all religions. Obviously, I want to shout out all the gods. You get me? Big up the All Father, Odin, Freya.
Four of them.
Yeah,
man.
all of that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because there's a space for us in Valhalla, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Listen to the next section. Thank you.
Yes.
that was a great segment. Let's get into more headlines, please.
This next headline, trigger warning. It's a very sad story. It's a bit of a long one as well. But yeah, let me give you the update. So a court has heard that a poisoner was at work at a hospital where there was significant rise in the number of healthy babies dying. Lucy Letby has been accused of murdering 5 baby boys and 2 girls and attempting to murder 10 other babies at Countess of Chester Hospital. Nick Johnson, KC, who's prosecuting, said that she was a constant malevolent presence in the hospital's neonatal unit. Miss Letby, who's 32 from Hereford, denies 22 charges at Manchester Crown Court. The jurors heard that Miss Letby is alleged to have tried to kill one child 3 times, while another died as a result of being injected with air. Parents of babies concerned in the case were among those present in the court as Mr. Johnson opened the prosecution. Johnson said that the Chester institution was a busy general hospital like so many others in the UK. However, he said that unlike many other hospitals within the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital, a poisoner was at work. He said prior to January 2015, the statistics for the mortality of babies in the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital were comparable to other like units. However, over the next 18 months or so, there was a significant rise in the number of babies who were dying and in the number of serious catastrophic collapses. He said that the increases were noticed by hospital consultants who were concerned that babies who were dying had deteriorated unexpectedly. Medics also noted that babies who had collapsed did not respond to appropriate and timely resuscitation, and that others collapsed dramatically but then equally dramatically recovered. He said, having searched for a cause which they were unable to find, the consultants noticed that the inexplicable collapses and deaths did have one common denominator, and that was the presence of one of the neonatal nurses, and that nurse was Lucy Letby. Mr. Johnson told the court that as medics could not account for the collapses and deaths, police were called in and conducted a painstaking review. That review, he said, suggests in the period between mid-2015 and the middle of 2016, somebody in the neonatal unit poisoned 2 children with insulin. The prosecution say the only reasonable conclusion to be drawn from the evidence you will hear is that somebody poisoned these babies deliberately with insulin. He said all the deaths and collapses were no accident and were not naturally occurring tragedies. Mr. Johnson said sometimes babies were injected with air and on other occasions they were fed with insulin or too much milk. And that's the latest so far on that particular story. So obviously I'll be keeping us updated on that. And the second headline is Germany are calling for certain sanctions in Iran. So Germany's foreign minister has called for action against those responsible for the violent crackdown on protests in Iran. Annalena Baerbock from Germany wanted to ensure that the European Union froze assets and imposed entry bans. She described those who beat up women and girls on the street as standing on the wrong side of history. According to Reuters news agency, EU foreign ministers are expected to decide on sanctions on the 17th of October. Speaking to a German newspaper, Baerbock also criticized those who condemned to death people who wanted nothing other than to live free. The proposed sanctions come after the death of Mahsa Amini, who we spoke about on the show quite a few times, and that sparked demonstrations throughout the country. The 22-year-old died in custody after being detained by Iran's morality police on the 16th of September. And that's the end of the headlines.
Wow. And obviously, we have no word on roll today. Shouts out Esther. She'll be back soon. She's somewhere being great. But we'll get into our next segment, the People's Journal. Let's go.
Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. I'm going to be super quick today, right? Just wanted to I saw an article talking about how you can cut your energy bills. I know, obviously, the government, like we spoke on the show many times, has introduced a cap on the amount of gas and electricity we're going to be paying. Average household, we basically £2,500 a year, which is a rise of 500. But if it was left to Ofgem, it would have been, I believe, 3,600 almost. But so this article basically is talking about how you can save money, man. So I want to see if you guys do some of this already, yeah, or have got some of these appliances and whatnot. Using an air fryer or microwave instead of an oven.
I don't have an air fryer, but I definitely, like all of us, have a microwave.
I've got an air fryer. What can I use? Can I heat up food in it? Yeah.
Yeah, an air fryer. Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, you got air fryer. You had one for years, man.
Yeah.
So
How do you use yours?
The way it's supposed to be.
As in, would you heat up food in it?
Yeah, I do.
what, use it like a microwave?
Yeah.
Okay.
As in just to heat things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
it
saying-
makes it even tastier.
Okay. So air fryers are more energy efficient than ovens.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then we get air fryer then.
Yes. Apparently, what they're saying is, for example, since the 1st of October, it costs 3p to heat up a frozen ready meal in the microwave for 7 minutes. 3p. but it would cost 40p for 35 minutes in the oven. Obviously, it sounds like just pennies, innit?
Yeah.
But it adds up. 3p compared to 40p.
Yeah, I've
know
never
what I'm
thought about that. I've never thought about how many times I use an appliance that is a certain amount of money. It's interesting to think about in that sense.
Yeah, man, 100%. Also, switching to LED light bulbs.
I'm not sure. No,
All my lights.
the thing is, I don't have traditional light bulbs in my house, so I'm not even sure what type of bulbs I have.
Yeah, the ones in the...
They're in the wall and they're flat. They're just weird things. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, they make a big saving apparently.
Okay.
Lighting makes up 11% of the average UK household's energy consumption. What they're saying is a household using a dozen 40 watts normal light bulbs, incandescent halogen bulbs for 4 hours a day could spend up to about £238 a year.
Okay.
But if you had a LED equivalent now, that would cost you about £40.
Okay. And here's a tip that I use: candles. Not only does it set a nice mood, ambiance, but you get a nice scent as well. You know what I mean? It calms the mind and the soul. You know what I mean? So light some candles, man.
Okay, you heard it from Big Man Utes.
There you go.
Also, central heating, man. You know how sometimes you might just turn it and just want it on, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, if you set it down, like set it to, let's just say it's 25, you used to reduce it to, say, 24 or something. Just that 1 degree difference can make a big saving as well.
Okay.
So basically what they're saying is if you set your thermostat at the lowest comfortable temperature, but still comfortable, right? So between 18 and 21 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
That can cut down your bills if you turn it down 1 degree by about £145 a year. And obviously that's based on like a semi-detached house or whatever. Obviously it kind of varies from place to place and whatnot, innit? And the time of the day as well. But still, that 1 degree can save you over £100, man. Also, insulate and drought proof your home. If you own your own house and whatnot, and you feel as though like there's just a crazy drought as well. Yeah, if you put some insulation and things of that nature, obviously it will cost you a lot of money to get it done, depending on how big your house is and whatnot. But long term, apparently it can save you about £125 a year. So yeah, man, insulation, draft proofing, all them type of things there. And also, last thing is make better use of your appliances. You already mentioned the other day you just turn certain things off to switch. Wait, do you turn off TV as well?
No, TV is long to turn off because one, you have to. It's
behind.
You got to try and get around it, and then two, like you said, it takes long to load up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Everything in Margs is on all the time.
I know. He said the other day.
He's not even lying.
He said the other day. No, I believe it. Mark doesn't look like a energy efficient man. He looks like a waster.
I'm also not a liar. If I said it, I said it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Go and turn off the light in your room.
I don't think that's on.
Okay. There you go. You're a liar.
I can't. No, I don't think it's on. My bathroom might be on, but my bedroom ain't.
Okay.
Well, yeah, man, just using certain appliances is better. So like washing machine as well, you got your bare different settings and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right? Washing clothes at 30 degrees Celsius and using one less cycle a week could save you £28 a year.
Okay.
So imagine just one less,
But I don't keep track of how many times I do laundry. I just do it when I need to do it.
But if you were to now say to yourself, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, compress it to out.
Yeah. Well, do you stuff your washing machine to try and get like the most clothes in as you can?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. That ruins the wash.
Yeah,
each piece of clothing doesn't get the TLC it needs. You know what I mean? When you just stuff it all in there.
This is true. But if you, because some people just kind of like, I need this particular thing, I'm just gonna wash it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've wasted, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you do that.
My wash machine goes on, that drum is full to the brim.
There you go.
It's maximum capacity. I'm getting the most out of this wash. I'm telling you. There's just enough space for detergent and things. I'm just filling it up, I promise you.
That's the best way, man. That's the best way. Save money. Like it's crazy that you can save an extra £28 a year by doing that. Just once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. Especially if you consider there's 52 weeks in a year.
Or if you're really about that life, hand wash.
Hey.
If you're really about that life. You know what I mean?
If you got time, yeah.
Man's in there.
And
that's crazy.
And the last thing is taking shorter showers, apparently.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I don't know like the stats on these, but these people live different to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But They're saying if you cut your shower time from 8 minutes to 4 minutes, you could save £70 a year.
The whites must be saving. I'm joking. I said 2 minutes stat maximum.
I don't think there's no time on showers. Showers are supposed to be convenient and quick and easy. Once you rinse your body and you scrub it and you got soap everywhere and then you rinse it off, you can get out. Like, obviously, if you want to enjoy yourself and
there you go.
bask in the ambience and all these things, then okay, cool, fine. But you can shower in fucking 2 minutes if you want.
Yeah. No, you can't.
You scrub yourself. You scrub yourself and you rinse yourself.
Rinse, scrub, rinse. You're out.
Yeah, I guess
But
so.
sometimes you want to enjoy the heat. You want to let the shower thing hit your back, massage it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I heard that. I've tested the theory though. I've showered fast before, boy. Fast.
What's your
what's my PB?
Personal best.
That's my PB in the shower.
Like 3 minutes maybe. I've done it in one song before.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, by the time I got to the final hook, the bridge, I was done and dusted. I was out of that bitch.
How many times have you left your house without taking a shower?
Oh, countless times. I'm from the streets.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, more times than I care to remember. More times than I can count.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be out ASAP.
I hear
Man,
that.
you gotta get the money, man. You think I care about brother, man chasing the money, you're worried about all the wrong things.
No, it's about me, yeah. My day can't start unless I take a shower. I can't function.
I've seen man doing that. It's made me angry, like so angry.
I can't
like,
function.
husband, yeah, his phone's blowing up. This guy's in the shower with a rubber ducky, like scrubbing the back of his neck. I'm like, are you a fucking idiot or something? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're worried about all the brother? Go and get that money for someone else does. These are sick. Time waits for no man.
Hold on. Have you ever come here without taking a shower before?
I've had no reason to do that. I wake up at 6 a.m.
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
But obviously, I'm still in and of that mindset. Like, there's still reasons why I can wake up and have to go and do something, and I'll go and do it, and I'll come home and shower. I
ain't talking about waking up and realizing you ain't got milk and running down to the shop downstairs. That's nothing. I mean,
I'm saying whatever it may be, it just suits me in it. I don't mind. I don't like anybody can judge me. I'm not interacting with people. I'm not doing anything. I'm in my car. I've gone somewhere. Like whatever reason I can make for myself to go and do that, I will do it. I don't really care.
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to give a few tips. There ain't much to talk about in the finance economics world.
No, that was good, man. That was very informative.
Thank you. But yeah, that's it from the People's Journal, man.
Okay, let's get into our next segment, asking for a friend.
All right, Margs, thank you very much.
What, you want me to read?
Please.
You didn't need to prompt me. I was going to.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Oh, sick. All right, cool. So let's get into asking for a friend. And this is from one of the listeners. Let's go. Hi, guys. I was tempted to leave a voice note, but I'm relatively certain that my man listens to this show on his way to work. So I'll even hold back on the details. So I have this friend who has a boyfriend of more than 5 years. And for the last 6 months, when having sex, she's only been thinking about a colleague at work in order to reach climax. Is this cheating? She apparently has no desire to leave her man as he is perfect, and no desire to get with the colleague as he is happily married. She just can't enjoy sex anymore without fantasizing about this man. What should she do, as her conscience has started tickling her a little bit? Absolutely love the show, guys. I listen every single weekday religiously. And that is asking for a friend.
All right, asking for your damn self. All right, first question. Is it cheating? Is it cheating?
Can you cheat psychologically?
I'll say I don't think it's cheating. It's definitely
Can you emotionally cheat on someone? Like, do you have to be physical to cheat?
It's not physical, but do you believe there has to be communication with the other person? So you can't be in your mind fantasizing about a man, never talking to him, never interacting with him, but you're just thinking about him. That's not cheating.
Is there a break of trust? If you found out that the last, 100 times you've had sex with your girl, every single time she's thinking about her next man, regardless of whether she's touched him or not.
Yeah, no, there's a big issue here, a major issue. Why are you thinking about this man? What am I not doing to satisfy you? Why do you need to think about him to climax? There's a void, there's a disparity between our relationship, and we need to figure this out. Because my woman shouldn't be thinking of another man while we have sex. It's a major issue.
So she's emotionally checked out. She's got this connection with this other guy, is cheating? Is it in like the spectrum of it? Is like in the realms of it, or is it just totally just not cheating? It's totally fine then.
No, it's not fine. I'm just.
But if it's not cheating, it's fine because you'll bust the case on that.
Okay, are you asking me would I leave my missus if this was her, basically?
Okay, yeah. Then is it a leavable offence?
No, it's not a leavable offence at inception, but once we discuss it, and if, for example, I wouldn't want to be with someone if every single time we have sex they think about someone else, and that's going to be them forever. No,
because how can you control that? You can't police that. They could just lie to you and never tell you the truth again. Like you can't actually stop that from happening.
But my question is, why do you want to be with me then? Like, if you're not enjoying our sex and you got to think of your colleague, why do you want to be here? You know what I mean? If this is something that you even can't shake it, there's a deeper issue. No?
I don't know. So what should she do, Iman?
Boy.
She has to address this with her man. She has to address it with her man. No, she has to address it with her man.
Yeah.
You have to. Okay, cool. Is it a case of he's not pleasing you in the bedroom? He's not doing certain things. Maybe, I don't know, he's fallen off physically. You're not that attracted to him anymore. There's a reason why you're thinking of your colleague. So address it with your man. You don't even have to come clean about the thinking about the man thing. Just address whatever issues you have with him, whether or not he's pleasing you, he's doing certain things you like. He's not.
But she stated she doesn't want to leave though. She doesn't want to leave, and she doesn't even want the other person.
She don't want to leave because there's other reasons why she wants to stay. But I'm saying address the sexual part of it because there's a reason why you're thinking of your colleague. So address it with your man. Not that. Don't mention the man thing first. Just address the reasons why you believe that he is not pleasing you sexually or you're having to think of another man. Address those issues. And if you can't come to some type of conclusion, then maybe come clean. I don't know.
Boy.
Call in. Ladies, call in, please. I think the men in the room need some help. Call in.
I mean, it's definitely not acceptable though, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but definitely call in people, man. But she can't live like that.
No, she can't live like that.
I'm saying? She can't live like that.
She can't. Have you ever thought about another woman, Marks, during sex?
Yeah, probably.
Was it to climax or was it just to fantasize that you were fucking a certain person?
Oh no, sometimes one thing's got a chop that not really for her. I was supposed to chop the other thing. Yeah, if that makes sense. Like all this that she's getting is not really for her. If that makes sense.
How did that happen though? As in, you had one particular girl who was meant to come over, she didn't come, so you got a sub or?
Yeah, it could be like that, or like maybe I've been. Maybe what can I think of? Maybe having like conversations with someone and making plans with someone, and obviously you get excited about seeing them and turned on whatever, and if for whatever reason, then plans might flop or you can't see that person, and like you're saying, yeah, maybe like a substitute might have to come in to appease man, but really, like she's gonna get all your dick basically. Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
I get what
you get what I'm trying to say. So in that moment, I could be doing whatever I'm doing, but thinking about who I was wanting to see.
Okay, I hear that.
I mean, yeah, sounds crazy, but I think that's possible. I'm sure I've been there before.
All right, Brent, you have any advice for this?
I want to know
young lady,
if it was switched around, if it was a man that called in and it was a man that was doing this particular thing, would the advice be the same?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, maybe the same.
Well, for a man, it would be scarier because I reckon there's more chance of him acting on it.
Huh?
For a man, it would be scarier because I reckon there's more chance of him acting on it. If this was a man talking, I'd know he's screwed. His goose is cooked. He's like something trouble in there. He's going to do something stupid. With a woman, there's a part of me that can believe it is just all in her head kind of thing.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. If she tells you exactly what the issue is, and I keep thinking about my colleague. Is there an issue with you now that she likes this guy, finds this guy attractive, she might be longing for him, and is there a fear that something might happen now? Or something could happen? This is someone she works with, sees every single day. She's going to work every day to see a man that she is fantasizing about. Is that an issue for you?
So you mean if she tells the man, basically, should he be thinking these particular things, basically?
Yeah, so if she tells her husband, she comes clean. Because before,
the first thing I would say is you don't come in on stupid advice. Don't tell your man nothing. Because people always talk about this honesty and transparency. You're just going to mash up the relationship because there's nothing you can do about it. So firstly, don't tell him. You need to deal with this problem yourself, whether you need to go therapy or whatever, go confide in someone. Deal with it yourself, yeah. Sort the problem out yourself. Don't tell your man nothing. Honesty is never the best policy. Don't listen to these idiots. Don't tell him nothing.
no, that's what I said. I said, there's a reason why you're thinking about your colleague during sex. Put the colleague aside for a second. Now, try to figure out what it is about your sexual relationship with your partner that's forcing you to think about your colleague. Is he not pleasing you? Is he not doing certain things you like in the bedroom? Is it him? Are you no longer attracted to him? Address those things. And hopefully, once you address those things, it fixes you thinking about your colleague. You know what I mean?
So for me, she said that everything's perfect other than this is who she thinks about when that brief moment of sexual interaction is happening.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing there's nothing wrong here. Continue living your life.
You think so?
Well, if it's just the sex stuff, and
Yeah,
not
but-
for everybody, sex isn't that like my
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Obviously, we're projecting onto this particular scenario because sex for us is like important. But maybe for her, this is just how I get through this. Maybe she didn't even like sex like that.
It was important enough to...
And everything else that he's doing is perfect. So a relationship, a loving connection isn't just based on sex for her. So I think it's cool. Unless it is that she basically says, look, I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
Isn't that what this is?
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I think
problem?
she does have a problem.
Yeah,
Man.
she does have a problem.
Well, because you're basically thinking it's her that's basically asking.
Yeah.
Not for her.
Yeah. Then people say, yeah, I've got a friend. Are you lot good Samaritans? Why is everyone always talking on behalf of their friends? I have a friend who... No, it's you. It's you.
No, it's called asking for a friend. They're allowed to do that. We're allowed to
I
do
know,
that.
but I just find it funny that everyone thinks that all these dilemmas are about that. Yeah, I've got a friend who has got this problem.
I think in my head, I think she's entertaining conversations from others about this thing that she's doing, and it's putting doubt in her head.
Yeah.
So she's like, is there something wrong with me? Do I have to leave this guy? Because everything else is perfect. To me, it seems fine for her what she's doing, and he's none the wiser. So
All right, so if you were in a relationship
Yeah.
and every time you had sex with your wife, you had to think about another woman in order to finish, to enjoy the sex, would you think there's an issue with that?
for me, but
Yeah.
yes, but you're asking about me. I'm projecting myself.
Yeah, but I don't
not onto
believe
her.
that this dilemma makes it seem like there's no issue here. It's a dilemma for a reason.
But this is what I'm saying. It might be, look, we're just speculating
Yeah.
100%. But the fact that it's been 5 months and she's doing the same thing, and she has no desire for the guy at work. And
Well, she said that because he's happily married. Maybe if he wasn't happily married, she would.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because you said that for a reason. Oh, he's happily married, so therefore I can't go there.
yeah, I guess it's possible, but that's
Yeah.
life, to be honest. And she's dealing with what's in front of her right now.
Yeah.
So I would say continue dealing with
Because
what's in front of you until it is that
If you
it becomes so bad that you have to basically just do something. Because right now,
Yeah.
she's been comfortable for 5 months.
Because if you're thinking about a man every single time you have sex for 5 months, yeah, just to say that man wasn't single and he approached you with a little proposition, you tell him you're turning that down. This man you've been fantasizing about for 5 months. Come on, knock it off. Jumping in that,
Boy.
jumping
Oh,
in the
indeed.
sack. Yeah.
So what advice are we giving her?
Go get therapy, man. Don't tell your man, and I think it will blow over. And if it doesn't, then you need to look in the mirror and start questioning your relationship, whether you really want to be there or not.
That sounds like what Danielle just said. That's great mind thinks like, Well,
There you go. See?
Yeah, man.
Manuel?
Yeah, pretty much. This is what Mark said, I think. Yeah, man, you definitely got to do something anyway, innit? And deal with the issue, because obviously it's an issue to her, and to remain like that, it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You can't keep doing that. She's actually saying she don't even enjoy it anymore, unless she thinks about the guy,
That's a problem, man.
That's a big problem. Yeah, man. Yeah, like what Mark just said, man.
Yeah. Let us know what happens, innit? Keep us updated.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, obviously, if you want to take part in asking for a friend or sis, what would you do? You can send in your voice notes. You know the number is at the top of the chat, but it's also 07564 841 073. You can also send them into email, tjsubmissions@thenewblack.com. Black is spelt with an X. You can DM us on our social media, use the hashtag asking for a friend or sis, what would you do? All of these things. But yeah, man, keep them coming and let's get into our final headlines it's looking like.
guys remember Katie Piper?
Is she like some child star or something?
No, she's you know the white lady that got the acid attack back in the day.
Oh.
You know, if you see her face, you know her definitely.
Trigger warning.
Yes, trigger warning. Pardon me. Yeah.
Thank you, Max.
But yes. Anyway, the man who attacked the model and campaigner Katie Piper with acid is being hunted by police after breaching his license conditions. Stefan Sylvester received a life sentence in 2009. This is what I was mentioning. The whole thing.
Okay.
So he received a life sentence in 2009 after throwing sulfuric acid at Miss Piper's face on the orders of her former partner. He was released on license in 2018. So he did 9 years, but has now been recalled to prison. The probation service said it was working with police to find him. For those unaware or need a reminder, Sylvester, who lives in Shepherd's Bush, attacked Miss Piper in March of 2008 at the request of her obsessive ex-boyfriend, Daniel Lynch. Lynch was jailed for life in 2009 with a minimum of 16 years for sexually assaulting Miss Piper and telling Sylvester to throw acid over her. The attack left Miss Piper with serious injuries and permanent scarring, and she has had hundreds of surgeries to repair damage to her face and eyesight. When Sylvester was released in 2018, the parole board's decision summary said he had displayed empathy for the victim and expressed remorse and shame for his actions. It said he had avoided antisocial behavior while imprisoned, had repaired his relationship with his family, and had completed relevant offense-focused work to challenge and change his attitude and thinking. A probation service spokesperson said, "We are urgently working with police to bring the offender back to prison where he'll face longer behind bars."
So who is it? Is this the acid thrower or
Yeah.
the boyfriend?
It's the acid thrower.
Okay.
Why are they looking for him?
Because he breached his license. They released him after 9 years. He had a particular license thing. And yeah, guys.
And they said, do you know what the breach is?
Nah, I think he's missing right now, isn't it? Like they don't even.
Also, he's probably just not checked in with probation and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, unfortunately, he'll be back. Or if they catch him. And the last headline might be. I mean,
Good news?
Yeah, it might be good news, man. We might get more of this. I don't know. But apparently, BBLs can be made safer for the ladies out there.
And the men?
Yeah. UK.
What's it? Yeah.
Oh, man. UK plastic surgeons have released new guidelines to try and make the Brazilian butt lift, the BBL procedure, safer for people who desire a bigger bottom. Some women have died from the operation, which involves sucking out fat from elsewhere, such as the belly, and injected it into the butt cheeks. The British Association of Plastic Surgeons, I just call them BAPS, says the injection should not go very deep. They say that it should help avoid complications such as dangerous blood clots. According to the NHS, it has the highest death rate of all cosmetic procedures, and the risk of death from BBL surgery is at least 10 times higher than many other procedures. A major concern is that the injected fat can cause a blockage in the blood vessel in the lungs called a pulmonary embolism, which, as we know, can be fatal. The BAPS say part of the problem with the fat grafting procedure is when the injections go deep, they actually go into the muscle. The president of BAPS, Mark Pacifico, mentioned or basically said that unfortunately we don't know how many people have been going for these risky BBL procedures. We have been recommending against it for a number of years after seeing quite a frightening death rate associated with it, but people have been going abroad to get it done. He said the NHS was sometimes left to pick up the pieces of botched surgeries from overseas. He said anyone seeking cosmetic surgery should thoroughly research the procedure, the clinic, and the surgeon. And this is basically what he, some guidelines he said basically. He said, make sure you ask if your surgeon will be using ultrasound for gluteal fat grafting. He also said that we are recommending that surgeons should only perform this with real-time ultrasound guidance as the only way to ensure the procedure is performed superficially and safely. So yeah, ladies out there.
Why is there such disdain towards BBLs? I don't understand. Like, plastic surgery has been going on from the beginning of the time. First it was facelifts, then earlier on in the millennium in the 90s, everyone was doing the breast stuff. Like, and then obviously like the trends and the fads just changed, innit? And now we're at BBL. I just don't understand why there's so much disdain for it. Obviously, there's some absolute horror shows out there. Don't get me wrong.
That's why though. I think because there's so much horror jobs. That's why everyone's like, you know what I mean? Fuck BBLs.
Yeah, but there's lots of horror boob jobs as well. That, like,
And
you know what I'm trying to say? There's lots of them, and I just don't feel the same.
I think
hate.
because remember we've heard so many horror stories about BBLs, isn't it? Like people dying from them. You know, you hear, oh yeah, this woman got injected at some back alley with cement. Like you just hear so many horror stories about BBLs. There's a negative stigma around it, innit?
Yeah.
I don't think we hear many horror stories about other cosmetic surgeries as much as BBLs.
Yeah.
That's true then. All right, cool. We'll pick up the BBL bandits. Obviously, I'm a fan of BBLs if they're done right. If they're done good and they feel good and they look good, big up your surgeon. I'm all in favour of more ass, you know. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's get into the.
Somebody just put in the chat, we need an awareness campaign saying flat is beautiful.
That's debatable. That is absolutely debatable. You guys look like a bag of smashed ice. Anyway, it's not my. Anyway, let me not do that. Sorry.
Brent,
Let's get into
Brent, that's the episode. That's the episode name. A bag of smashed ice. Crazy.
Let's get into this last segment, the reaction.
Last segment, the reaction again, focus on sports, and unfortunately, the two headlines are basically about PEDs, man, performance enhancing drugs. First being about Cobor Benn, and the UK anti-doping agency is investigating Cobor Benn's failed drug tests that led to the postponement of his fight with Eubank Jr. Benn was due to fight Eubank on the 8th of September, but the bout was called off after he returned what promoters said was an adverse analytical finding for trace amounts of a fertility drug. UKAD is due to investigate the case as it is a potential anti-doping violation by a boxer licensed by the British Boxing Board of Control, which is under its jurisdiction. If found guilty of an anti-doping violation, the 26-year-old could receive a 2 to 4 year suspension. Benn tested positive for banned for female fertility drug clomiphene in August, following a test overseen by VADA, which is the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. The B sample will be tested, and if that also comes back positive for clomiphene, Benn will have the opportunity to provide any relevant information which could help explain how the substance got into his system and could then mitigate any punishment. He has denied any wrongdoing and is not currently suspended. The board and general secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control, Robert Smith, has not responded to repeated requests from anyone, pretty much, to have a statement or whatever. Clomiphene can be used to boost testosterone levels in men and is banned inside and outside competition by the World Anti-Doping Agency. The BBOC said the bout was prohibited and not in the interests of boxing on the 6th of October, and the fight was formally postponed the following day. The promoters Matchroom said that BBOC's decision to withdraw its sanctioning was procedurally flawed and without due process. That's basically Eddie Hearn, because that's his promotional company, Matchroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's basically saying something. I mean, a lot of people don't believe him at the moment, because these guys knew ages ago, you know what I'm saying, that he had failed the test. And it's like, why are we only finding out about it a few days before the fight? If you guys really cared, you lot would have cancelled this or postponed it back then, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. And our second headline is about the banned British sprinter CJ Ujah. And he's come out and basically says a convenient £10 supplement that he bought from Amazon caused him to test positive for 2 prohibited substances at the Tokyo Olympics. Ujah has been handed a backdated 22-month ban, but cleared of intentionally taking prohibited drugs by the Athletics Integrity Unit, the AIU, and the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. Britain was stripped of its Olympic men's 4x100 meter silver medal after he tested positive for Ostarine and S23 at the 2021 Games. Speaking to The Guardian, the 28-year-old Ujah said that he had become complacent during COVID-19 lockdowns. He said, during the pandemic, I relied a lot on Amazon rather than using the people and the resources around me. It was just convenient with next day delivery and I didn't think anything was wrong with it. Ujah said that he had been taking the supplement beta-alanine for weeks before the Olympics, but he did not know that they were contaminated with trace amounts of Ostarine and S23. He said his final drug test before the Olympics was May 2021. Beta-alanine is a naturally occurring amino acid and is legal under WADA rules, but Ostarine and S23 are selective androgen receptor modulators And the UK anti-doping website states ostarine is a drug designed to have similar effects to testosterone.
They're annoying me with all this drug stuff, man. They should start doing like, I feel like for like every sport, they should do like a version of the league where you're only allowed to play if you're on drugs.
Yeah, for real.
Like, real talk, like everybody, like let's just get the best version of themselves they could be, supersize everything, and let's just go for it, because this is pissing me off now, man. Every 2 seconds you're complaining about drugs, and they come out, they're all doing it, whether it's inadvertently or on purpose. It's everywhere anyway. You get what I'm trying to say? But the people at home ain't complaining. So just make it a level playing field. Just make everybody take the drugs, and they don't have to ban nobody. Trust me.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
Okay, then let's get into our final segment. Done Out Ere. And just quickly before I get into Done Out Here, I saw in the comments that Miss T said sometimes Mark seems a bit superficial, no disrespect. And I just want you to let you know, absolutely no offense taken. None whatsoever. Okay. Just to clear that up, because this is great. I use what I use. Yeah. But Done Out Ere, this one's going to be quick as well, because I haven't even had the time to get into the story, and I'm not going to even get into the story anyway, because E-Man touched on it and he read it, and that was the first I've even heard of it, and it made me push my face up. I just hate people, man. People, they're just always going to let you down. You get what I'm trying to say? This Lucy Letby nurse woman, is a vile piece of shit. Like, honestly, and she hasn't even been found guilty. I don't think the case is still going on, but I'm guessing she's going to get found guilty. There's not this much smoke without fire. There's a lot of cases she's done. She's hurt a lot of babies. Like, I don't even understand the mindset. I don't understand what you're going through. What's happened to you. I don't get it. I've told you that before. I really hate things I don't understand. So when I'm reading things and I just don't get it. And also when you're troubling children and that, you didn't even give these poor babies a chance. They're at literal babies as well. Like, at their conception is what you're trying to do. Just a horrible, horrible human being, man. Hopefully they should have just let her go and let the mob catch her. Sometimes jungle justice is what's needed. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think the people will deal with her right. If we get our hands on this bitch, she is finished. There's no amount of jail time you can give her that's going to make up for what she's done. This is what I'm trying to say. This is why sometimes I say stuff and people think I'm joking or I'm being crazy or whatever. But I think there's certain cases where death penalties and things that make sense. Because what are you going to do to this woman to appease the families that she's hurt? What are you going to do to, like, you know what I'm trying to say? You're not going to give her a life sentence with an expected release date or a minimum term and stuff like that. And the parole board's going to talk about she's showed remorse and she's done this and done all the things back to the community area. It's all crap. Like, it's all bollocks, man. Some people just need to just go to hell. But before they go to hell, they need to experience hell on earth. And she is a candidate. Her name should be first on the fucking list. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and like I said, I haven't got a chance to go into it, and I'm not going to go into it because it's just going to wind me up. But I felt like she needed her 15 minutes of, because this is what she wanted. You know what I'm trying to say? She's just a horrible, nasty piece of work, and it actually makes me sick. You get me? And she is definitely Done Out Ere. I don't know if you don't want to add any more onto this, but
not really, man. You said it all, man. Yeah, she's an animal, man. 100%. Like you said, like, if they're gonna bring back like death penalty and stuff, she has to be one of the first, man. These are the people. Again, this is what I was saying the other day. This is what Nigeria is good for, for disciplining people. She's one of them that they need to put a tire around and set a light and throw into the bush somewhere. She's an animal, man. You can't be going around killing babies like this.
Yeah, a bag of crushed ice, man. Despicable.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah, no, honestly, it proper. Like, I don't know, man. This stuff just winds me up, man. It gets to me, man. I can't take it. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. She is absolutely Done Out Ere. I wish her all the worst in life. And then, yeah, let's just get into this outro, man.
Yep.
Oh, there we have it. That's another day in the bag. Another amazing show. Yeah, shouts out everybody in the chat. You're not taking part. Shouts out all the callers. There was a great conversation there. Well, between Kevin and Sharif and E-Man. Yeah, you done well, E-Man. You was on the ropes, but
I I'm Muhammad Ali on the ropes, you know. I go there on purpose.
Yeah, no, you done good. You done good. Obviously, you lot like the video. Please share it. Please subscribe. Join us on all the socials. Barely you lot don't even follow me on social media. I don't even use it like that anyway. But you lot are haters. Follow me. Follow all the hosts individually and follow the New Black and TDA. All of this stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Join that community that is apparently amazing. Yep. Anything else the band want to add?
If you got any ideas for topic of the day, woke or joke, again in the community, let us know, man. Yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. And obviously we will be here every morning giving you your news and information. Like I said, it's the home of the culture as decided by the culture. You have been great. We'll see you tomorrow morning, man. Peace out.
Peace.